I'm joined by the 20-time champion, the 2-time world champion, a legend to the Call of Duty scene, the co-host of The Flank, Patrick Price, a.k.a. Aches. And then we got another world champion on my other side. Not this side, this side, right over here. Shout out to Chris Parasite. You guys have seen him on The Flank before. You'll be seeing him a lot more. Shout out to you guys, man. How you guys doing today?
Good. You know, I just got off a long flight back from Los Angeles, as you can see. Still sporting the merch a little bit. So yeah, I had a long flight out to LA this morning. Got back in time for the Flank, but it was a direct private, you know.
What were you doing in LA, Pat? What were you doing over in LA?
You know, I had to talk to some people in sunny Los Angeles. You know, you can find their they have a compound. They have a compound out in Southern California. And I was just out there, Tom. You know, I had a quick little 2-hour meeting and then right back to get to the Flank. So it was just, you know, a productive day.
I like it, Pat. I like it. And what about you, Chris? You have a good productive day?
I mean, I guess I was watching matches with
chilling.
you guys. Just chilling. Same as always. Just excited to get the show started.
Hey, it's always a beautiful day. It's always a fun time watching some COD with some friends. You know what I'm saying? The watch parties have been incredible. Shout out to everybody who's been tuning in with us during the watch parties. It's been a lot of fun. But now we got a show to do, and we got to hop right into it. We had 4 series today. Got a lot of matches to go over. We're going to kick things off with the first one. We got Los Angeles Thieves going up against the Seattle Surge in the Blow It Up Bowl. We got Tuscan Hardpoint, Tuscan S&D, Tuscan Control, Tuscan, Berlin Hardpoint, and Desert Siege S&D. Pat, Chris, anything that catches your eye during the vetoes? If anything at all. If there's nothing, there's nothing. We'll just get right into it.
A lot of Tuscan, but this is kind of like, I think Thieves like Tuscan, but I think it's a hard point, and we can get into it, but it's a hard point for Thieves because I feel like their sub and their main AR are two that's struggling the most on this team so far. Kenny obviously played pretty poor today, but you know, these maps are never going to favor when it's like you don't know what you want to, you know, their comfort was Gavitu. That was their like you know, obviously 3 AR map, but their ARs are struggling, so might as well play Tuscan, but also their, you know, one of their subs is struggling. So I just think the Steve's team's in between a rock and a hard place, and they just got to play whatever maps they can hope to win on now.
I mean, they do not look good at all right now. I feel like they're at the point now where they don't even want to play with each other, or at least that's what it looks like.
And that's what it looks like in their cams, right? Like their face cams.
It's what it sounded like in the listening too, which we'll get there. Yeah. But go ahead, Chris.
Their team used to be all about the vibes. Like they always would talk about it, like, oh, they just were happy to play with each other, and like now it just, at least in their demeanor in matches, it just doesn't seem that way at all. So I mean, they're probably checked out, man. If I'm being honest, just by looking at their like facial expressions, their reactions in games, like they're just kind of waiting for things to change, I guess.
Yeah, they seem like a broken team. At least to me, they do. We get into the Tuscan Hardpoint to kick things off. Pred was starting to finesse here. I'm not sure if you guys thought this was a good play or a bad play. Some people thought it was kind of a kill whore play, but
I thought it was a horrible play.
He was just going rogue here. I mean, he was winning gunfight after gunfight, but I mean, at the same time, he's also across the map from New Hill. You can already see Envoy making the play, which, by the way, I mean, Envoy is literally the difference maker right now for LA Thieves. I mean, I feel like he's by far their best player, and it's not even close. So I feel like Envoy's trying to do everything he can to keep his team in. Pred was going a little bit rogue. Church, he went on a crazy spree, but maybe kind of trolled a little bit, maybe Killhorn a little bit, not sure. But LA Thieves were able to break on into this P3, make it a little bit mixy. But honestly, until he hit the second rotation, his map was pretty back and forth. I know Sib and Pred, they're having one of those series, Pat. One of those series where they're frying. But talk me a little bit about the Seattle team, Pat, because they were frying and they still lost the map. Maybe some Killhorn.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem on this team in general, and that's kind of why we talk about it. Like they used to be able to get away with this in the beginning when I think they were ahead, but now that it's kind of even, like, and I know Thieves are not in a good place, but still, like, losing to Thieves on this map is where, you know, Thieves are playing terrible when you're out slaying them. That's just not a good look. That's why I'm still not very high on this Surge team in general. But obviously they turned around the rest of the series. But again, they're talking about playing the Thieves. So I don't know. I still more to see. I do not, you know, I'm still not high on this Surge team and could easily see a roster change in the future for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what do you,
no,
what do you
I
think,
still
Chris?
agree with you. I still agree. I'm not too high on Surge right now. I think Thieves is completely checked out. Even when they do win maps, like they're close, and there used to be maps that they were dominant. I mean, we used to say these guys are the best hardpoint team in the game, right? And I think they're like what 0-4, like no, not 0-4. They're probably like 0-3.
It's
like their
bad.
last. It's bad. Like they just have not been winning HPs, which was their saving grace. And don't even get me started on S&D when we get to the next map. So
The S&D, I mean, we got to talk about LA Thieves in the S&D.
that's what I'm saying.
Holy shit.
Not Surge. I meant Thieves. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, when it comes to Surge, I mean, listen, they definitely have talent. I mean, for me, it's more of a blow it up for LA Thieves than Seattle Surge. For me, I mean, for me, Seattle, I still see some positives to take from the Seattle team. Honestly, I still think they're a talented team, and they're going to be able to make some noise. I mean, now they recently just took down Atlanta FaZe. They took down the Thieves today. Is it really that big of a deal that you took down the Thieves right now? Probably not, but they got the W. They got the W.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they look at their team, bro. They have the talent. Like we've seen Pred play at a high level. We've seen Sid play at a high level. Mac has been disgusting, and Lamar, he's a staple. He's a clutch player. Does his role. They just need to put it together. They need to start icing up. They just need to start playing better, like simultaneously. Because right now it just doesn't seem like they can do that. But when they do, I think they can be good, man. We saw it already. We've seen them beat FaZe. We've seen them they're competitive at points. And Grant, I'm not sold on them being a really good team now. But I mean, they can trend upwards. They have the potential to.
Lamar said in the chat that they were shitting on them before the replay. Motherfucker, it was on the second hill.
wait, what? Shitting on them where? When?
Before the replay.
Oh, before the replay. Oh yeah, no, the replay. They barely played, right?
Yeah, they played one hill.
Yeah,
they were on
they-
like the first 10 seconds, and he said they were shitting on them.
Well, for
you
those
won
10
that
seconds,
first
he
hill.
was. But and then this is the streak from Pred, right? This is streak. Actually, let's go into. There's a listen-in. Let's go into the listen-in. Pred was frying. This is kind of what we were talking about in the beginning of the map, where Pred was just kind of going off, but was it really doing anything? Let's take a look and let's listen to the comms from Seattle Surge.
Rotate, I'll spawn.
Hey, you might go window. Stop by. Stop by.
I'm back into P1.
Two. One more.
Nice, last guy.
Drive there.
Nice.
I have
P1,
guys.
I'm backed up. I have P1, back up to roofs.
Yeah.
I'm looking mid for a second.
Hit that. Ramp, envoy, challenge old. I got it. Nice.
Mid, dead. I have P1 again.
Yeah, I'm top working.
I'm laying down fire tree. I got initial.
Okay.
Top two is dead. I'm fucking shitting on him. I can see mid alley and I have P1.
I'm going roost. I'm
I got another one. I'm on for Glad.
That's square.
I'm going rogue. I'm going to Glad. Where are you spawning right now? Middle? One top working. Top working shit on bad. I'm standing down. Spawning roost. Guys, you want envoy? Envoy's P1. After the guard.
Absolute roost, Kenny.
I'm coming mid alley. I'm coming to mid alley. One shot right P1. Time weak. One shot. Nice. Three. Two on top. Nice. Last guy. He's behind the fountain, guys. Nade it. I'm in the Glad on her. No. Okay. I'm coming P1 side. I hit him with the nade, guys. I'm nading.
You
On
want
the
me
wall,
glad?
on the close left.
I need a time.
So what did you guys think? Pred was fucking piecing, but it was piecing on the other side of the map.
Dude, every kill he got ended up spawning roof anyway. Like,
Yeah, he spawned him closer. But that's the thing. Like, I guess if you're gonna go rogue like that, I guess Seattle needs to be aware. But the thing is like
even then, do you want that to happen?
No, I mean, I just don't. It's so hard to manipulate spawns on this fountain hill. We were talking about it yesterday. How bad this hill actually is. I mean, you get there's so many different spawns. You could spawn back all the way back here on the fountain. You can spawn roof. You can spawn P1. I mean, you have to block everything if Pred's gonna be going rogue like that and. To block everything like that, it's gonna be hard. I mean, he was pretty much just spawning them closer, but he was able to pick up a streak from it. But how much?
She did nothing.
But I was gonna say, how much do streaks really mean? Like honestly,
On this map, I think they mean a lot. It's just
On
depends on where
P1,
you use them.
for
it didn't do
P1.
anything. They used it on P1 and it achieved
P1
nothing.
the second rotation is a very attainable hill. I mean, yeah, it did achieve nothing, but at the end of the day, it's not like it's completely worthless. But I mean, like, dude, just even looking at that play, if Pred would have made those kills and funneled them into like the roof side of the map, and his teammates would have picked up those kills, like he would have looked like a god, right? For making that play. But that's just not how it worked. But like I said, I mean, you see greatness in like some of their team. Like, granted, some of the plays they make are questionable. You see they're talented. Like, bro, that guy was literally just shitting on those guys, right?
Yeah.
Like they definitely have potential. I'm not a fan of them. I don't know if they're ready to compete on a consistent level, but like they look better than they did at the beginning of the or in the last stage. So that's a good thing for Seattle.
Yeah, and look at those shots from fucking Sib. Jesus Christ.
Guys got some of the best gun skill in the league, bro.
Yeah, you can see Octane still struggling a little bit. Envoy trying to keep them, trying to carry them. Honestly, I feel like Envoy was like the one really stepping up. I feel like it's the only reason why they won this map.
He was the
Envoy
only
was
one that played good.
he was making plays even towards here at the end of the game. So Seattle, when we go back to this P1 rotation, they get in there. LA Thieves was able to hit some good grenades, and they get the kills. They end up getting in here, and then this is where the streak comes in. But the streak really doesn't do much here, and LA Thieves are just able to hold on. But this was pretty much the Envoy show, this first map. So definitely got to highlight him and kind of things what he's been doing. I definitely think if LA Thieves are going to make a change, they should build around Envoy. I definitely think Envoy is probably their superstar player right now. Well, and he makes a lot of plays on the map too. He's super impactful.
Dude, it's like, I mean, we've said it before, but I feel like at this point, I feel like they just gotta, it sounds bad, but like force Ken to try a sub. Like just try it. Even if it's like Draza going to a flex, like I just think this team needs a fast-paced sub, and I don't think there's one they can get on the market that would be better than like how good Ken could be on a sub like that. I just feel like it needs to happen.
Yeah, Ken could be that good, but like at the same time, if they're interested in using their sub, I'm not saying to do so necessarily, but Pentagram is also meets that requirement in terms of an aggressive submachine gun. I'm actually curious to see if at any point he does get to play, because I mean there are other players that are really good, and I could see them making a blockbuster trade because they do have blockbuster players. Like, let's be real here, they're all talented in their own right. But at the same time, like people are like kind of disrespecting them. I see a lot of people saying like get Colt Havoc, etc., etc. They already have Pentagram on their sub roster. If they're gonna get a challenger, like bro, let the kid show what he's got. I get it, you know, like there are other players, but if they're gonna put in a challenger at any point, let the fucking kid play. You signed him for a reason.
Yeah, what's the point of picking him up?
Yeah, besides that, like, yeah, these guys do have a lot of trade potential. Envoy definitely isn't going anywhere if they do make a change. I just don't see a reason or any way that ever happens.
I mean, it's just so weird to me that Kenny was an MVP when he ran a sub, and then that was the only year
on a 4v4 game.
Yeah, it's the only year we've seen him run a sub. Then it went to Black Ops 4. He didn't want to run the sub because I don't blame him. I mean, that gun sucked. It shot peas. So
it was
for
a
him,
shotgun.
I mean, for him, it wasn't a gun he could challenge with and get aggressive with. But I just don't see why he wouldn't want to run a sub. You could be super impactful with it. Ian was trying to tell me that maybe he's just like not comfortable with it, but how are you not comfortable with a sub? I mean, you were an MVP and you were a top player in the game, bro, and like it doesn't make any sense.
The MP40's profile is literally that of the PPSH. Like it literally
it's like
is
the
a
same
laser
shit.
beam like the PPSH. It has quick pull-up time. Like it has all of the things that I feel like Ken would like because he kind of likes
who cares
those like
about his confidence. He's 0-5. Like I'm sure he's way more. Yeah, like. Are you confident in being 0-5 going into a major? Like,
yeah,
it's time to change things up.
I agree. There gets to a point where it doesn't matter what the fuck he wants to do or what anybody wants to do. If somebody needs to do something, if Kenny needs to run a sub, he should run a sub, period. Like, that's all it comes down to. And just try it out. I mean, he's so talented. I don't understand why he doesn't give it a go. I was saying the same thing last year. But I don't know. Whatever floats their boat. If they are going to move Kenny to a main AR, then they're definitely going to have to look to pick up some aggression. They need pace. They need pace on a team. When you look at some of the teams at the top, that's all they have is pace. They're so fast. They move so quick. You have to be able to keep up with that. Faster is better.
I'm really interested to see what they do. Like, because they had like their roster has a lot of good pieces that other teams could use, but at the same time, that's what makes it so they have so many options. Like, I'm actually curious to see what this team actually just decides to do because it's gonna be cool to see.
Yeah, well, let's get into the S&D a little bit. We get into a Tuscan S&D. The first round was a 3v2 situation in favor of the LA Thieves. They choked that one. They try to wrap the bomb through B, as we saw, and they get taken down. The next round, they have a 4v2 situation. It gets all the way down to a 1v1. So LA Thieves, again, man advantage, a 4v2 situation. It shouldn't even get down to a 1v1, but it does. Luckily, Octane was able to win it. And then we get into this round. The 1-1 round. This is the Lamar Ninja defuse. What was LA Thieves doing right here?
This is unacceptable.
This is unacceptable. Like, it's terrible.
We can give Lamar props all day for the play he made. It was the best possible play. It was a good play. But, dude, it should be impossible to make this play. Like, okay, look. Lamar gets one, fakes the kill cam. Sure. What the fuck are the other two people doing? You're playing Lamar. He is an AR player who isn't going to be running around, like, challenging, and they're playing it as if he is. Like, not one of them had eyes on bomb.
Yeah, but know what's funny too is they plant towards green and they're playing for the backspin. They can't even see the bomb from where they're setting up. Like, bro, it's a 2v1 situation. You know where Lamar is. Group up and challenge. Just challenge him. Just challenge the guy and just get the round over with.
They also know where he was.
Yeah, bro, they were
knew
actually looking like he was
Bro.
in a completely different spot.
This
Yeah, no,
actually looked like he was trolling. Like it looked like Lamar gave up and just went to the bomb and just defused it. And they just, I don't even know what happened. They just
Man,
didn't have.
I love the
Bro, there's
Thieves. I
18
love the
seconds.
players, all that shit. But at the same time, bro, they're out in LA. They're definitely hitting up the papaya, bro. Like,
They should
'cause
hit the
that
fucking
shit is-
papaya. They need a regain, bro.
They got the good shit over there, bro.
Dude, they need to hit that shit and they need to regain tonight because I don't know what the hell was going on. And they're 0-5 now, so they're gonna be in losers. I mean, they've been in losers, but now they're 100% in losers, right? And then look at the next round. Then we get into the next round. Dante's in a 1v3 situation and he
Bro, hold
clutches
on.
it.
Who did he punch? That's what I want to know.
Draza.
So, I know. Okay, so look right here. He kills Kenny. Why is Draza sprinting at him? Like, just aim at the door and get a kill. He's right. You see him right beside you.
There's nowhere else he's gonna go.
Yeah, just fucking aim.
I
You
don't
literally
know,
just sprinted
man. I
into him
don't
and got
know.
fucking 1-2'd like.
And then he rotates back and he just beams Octane top church. It was like it was a really nice 1v3. I mean, look at this fucking guy. Dante, look at this guy. Now he's doing this stupid fucking
Bro,
handshake
he's
with
stone
Lamar.
cold. He didn't even give a fucking
He's
reaction,
doing his
bro.
stupid fucking handshake with Lamar when
Because
they do
he's
these
mind-blowing,
fucking,
like, yo, these
face
guys are
bump
horrible.
shits. You know, it's just unacceptable. And then Seattle, they go up 3-1, and then at this point, I mean, bro, after you win rounds like this, I mean, if you're LA Thieves, you're chalking it, right? I mean,
No regaining, bro.
how do you regain? You're just choking round after round after round.
Back. And they also had, I think, first blood in every single one of those 4 rounds to start, and then also got 3v1 twice. Like,
First blood doesn't mean anything for these
Unacceptable.
guys. And this is the one round they were able to win. They make it a 3v2 situation. They had bomb down, so they were able to just play corners here. And once they pick Lamar there, 3v1, it goes 4-2. And then again, LAT again just gets smoked in a 4-2 round. Again, they just struggle, man. They show they have numbers again. 3v2 situation. What do you guys do here? You're in a 3v2 situation. You hit B. You have numbers. What would you guys do? Do you like to play here to rap? Do you like what they're doing right now?
I mean, I'm
don't
glad
mind
to see
it.
them doing something, right?
Nah, I don't mind it.
compared to some of their other plays, what they do in these situations.
A is a bomb where it's a lot more.
See, where-
It's a lot easier to cover like all angles, so you're just less likely to get
but,
clutched on. In my opinion.
even shit like this though, like, bro,
How are
Envoy's
you
hitting,
getting
bro,
gunned?
Envoy's hitting the site. He's jumping at you, and look where Octane. He's not even set up yet. Like Octane's still like catching up with him. You have the other guy playing fire by himself. Like,
Wait, but then when Octane gets
What
set
are
up,
they
he
doing?
gets absolutely gunned. Doesn't even hit Sid with a bullet.
yeah, then he gets
Play
set
it.
up.
Look, he knows where he is. He's got to be pre-aiming this, right?
He has to
Doesn't
be. If
even
he's
hit a
not,
bullet.
and then Envoy runs mid. He gets taken out. I'm like, bro, what are they doing?
Wait. I wish. Were they? Hold
What
on.
are
Can you
they
back it
doing?
up? Was Envoy
Yeah.
still weak from when he got hit the first time?
Probably. He was probably scared to peek
So look, he got
the
hit right
left.
here.
He didn't
it
want.
takes 5 seconds before you regen, so he got hit at 53. When does he die?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know if he regained his health back.
I mean,
yet.
bro, it's even still okay. Octane doesn't shoot a bullet. I don't know what happened there, but there's 50 seconds left on the clock. They still have time. Like Envoy can chill. Like he could chill here. He doesn't need to move. He should wait. He should do something with Kenny. Then he
Wait,
runs
bro,
out and
but
dies.
regardless, like I mean, I don't play anymore, but I feel like that's day one. If you're gonna go to the A bomb, you never go from that angle. I am never going from that angle that he just went to the bomb from, unless you know for a fact there's nobody church. Because
I'm
you're
not
just gonna
doing it.
get-
Period.
No, but you get it. Like you see, what I mean, like if you're gonna come to the bomb, you come from the left side, so you can't be seen from the guy up there.
But think about how Kenny feels. They're in a 3v1. He gets the guy weak,
He lost composure.
and his teammate gets punched down. They get 1v3. Then the next round, he's in a 3v2. His teammates fall. He's in a 1v2 now. Like Kenny's probably fucking losing it. You
Yeah,
know?
he's lost full. I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. I mean, at this point, it was 5-2. This one was all she wrote. Seattle were able to clutch it up and take care of business and win the series. I think LA Thieves, they go down here, take a look at the final scoreboard. You can see it was Mac 8-6, Lamar 9-4, the Iceman doing what he does. On the other side, everybody either negative or even, just wasn't able to get anything going.
It's just a story of LA Thieves in search. They put themselves in good scenarios. They put themselves in good spots. They get some rounds on the board. They have man advantage, and they just find every way to just throw it away.
Yep.
And it's got to be the communication, bro. Like I don't know what else it could be, because like I said, some of these plays, it just looks like they're not talking. It looks like they're baked, man.
I think
No, seriously.
it's taste too. It looks like half the team wants to play fast and half the team wants to play slow, and they're not communicating on either side of that. So listen, we talked about it before. It is time to blow something up. There ain't
blow
no
it up,
coaching
Pat.
that's gonna fix this situation. There's no veto improvement, map pool improvement that's gonna fix the situation. They gotta blow something up.
I mean,
Whether
listen,
it's a challenger player, a pentagram, a blockbuster trade, something's gotta happen.
Yeah, and the thing is, I see a lot of people calling for JCap's head, but what do you want JCap to do? I mean, I'm sure
J-Cap
that
isn't playing. I don't think that's
he's not
right
playing,
at all.
and I'm sure that a lot of the stuff that we're talking about, Cap is seeing it as well and telling it to them and trying to get into their heads, right? Like trying to tell them this shit. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, Cap's not the one playing. He's not the one that has to execute out there. So I don't know. And then we get into the Tuscan control. And it starts off with Seattle. They're able to get some ticks here. I really like this break here. Seattle, they send 3 around the back. And then it all just starts with Pred. Pred has to stay alive and be patient. That's exactly what he does. He doesn't rush anything. He doesn't like just run at them. He plays his life and he tries and finesses. He gets a kill and he gets the fuck out of there. That allows his team to hit in through the back. Seattle picks some more kills. And then I think they were able to get 2 ticks here. I don't think they win it here. But once they have the 2 ticks, it pretty much sets them up. They have 1:30 left to go. They have 2 ticks. And look, they set it up again. They go 3 around the back. They have number 4, who's going to be Pred again. The same player doing it again. He's going to slow play front. You can see Seattle storming around the back. They're going to work some trades, do what they got to do. They get onto that point, and they get the dub. Just like that, after they win the first hard point. This is pretty much all she wrote after they won the first offense.
Yeah, this is also the first time Surge has ever swept a team in control.
The first time?
First time ever so far in this game. And also, Thieves have now been swept 3 times in control. 3-0. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think this is a total collapse out of the Thieves team. I know we keep talking about it, but it's just they're like starting to break their records of like shit that's never happened to them, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I think once the first offense goes by for Seattle, the rest is just defense wins. You see Envoy trying to do what he can. Kenny had a really tough map this one. I think he ended off like 7-22 or something around
like
there.
that.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
he got 3 more kills than you did.
Come on, Pat. Come on. What the fuck is your problem, Pat? It was one
I was
time.
just trying to be statistically correct. You
Pat,
know?
I couldn't see my screen, Pat. I couldn't see my screen, bro. And what happened to next 3 maps, Pat? What happened to next 3 maps?
You were fine. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case for Kenny because I think he got smoked on map 4 and had a pretty bad series overall. But I mean, they all did, right? Like, I think everyone but Envoy in this series was like neg 20 plus. So just overall, pretty shit performance from the entire squad.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Surge just played better, but these are just in a really dark place right now.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny's an animal. He just had a bad map. It is what it is. It happens. I
Yeah.
just think the team was completely checked out. At this point, you can see Envoy 25-20 trying to do what he can, but it just wasn't enough. And then we just get into the 4th map, which was a Berlin hard point. Any initial thoughts from you guys on the Berlin? For me, I just felt like LA Thieves chalked it out, in my personal opinion. Once they hit the second rotation, this one was all she wrote. It wasn't even close.
I agree with you. Also, Surge are actually 2-7 in their game 4s, and both of those wins were on Berlin. So they're like probably one of the worst game 4 teams, but they seem to find success on Berlin when it is game 4. But yeah, I think LAT now is 1-4 in their last 5 HPs.
Yeah.
So going from, the best hardpoint team in stage 1 and even part of, stage 2 still, just because of how much that carried over from stage 1 to now be 1-4 in their last 5. So it's just a, trailing downward for them.
Yeah. And then
They're
we get
having
in
a good time.
No,
Sorry, go ahead.
no. I mean, Chris, I agree. They're miserable right now. It's what it seems like. But as we could just scrim through. I mean, even right here. I mean, look at this. Seattle's getting scrapped, and look at where LA Thieves is. Like nobody's even picking up the right side of the map. That's the most important part. Wait, Chris, wouldn't you say this is the most important part to pick up the right side of the map right here? What does everybody do? What does everybody do to try and break P4? They go around the right and they try and get around the back.
There's ways you can play around it. You definitely want to like at least stop people from hitting it right away because you don't want to flip early. I think like eventually you want to kind of let them flip themselves at some point if they decide to do it, but off the rip, like you don't want that. You really just gave them the spawn there for free.
Bro, Pred ran through mid and just shot him off hill. Like it looks like they're not even like they don't even know what they're looking at. Like they're not even picking up the right lanes on a map.
They already
You know?
had a guy inside the train station, right? And one of the players, I don't really know who it was literally looking at the inside of the train station doorways. Like it just, I don't know.
And I mean, the instant flip comes in. Seattle gets around the back, and sure, LA Thieves can salvage it and get some time. It's still annoying that, you know, Seattle's able to make it scrappy because they're not picking up the basic shit, you know? And then at this point, Seattle, they hold the P5 a little bit. It gets pretty scrappy, but once it hits this second rotation, it was pretty much chalked up. Let's go into a listening with the LA Thieves, and let's see how they were sounding.
Look for Lamar Stibbers. What's up? I'm out, bro. I'm out.
Fire tank, press half health. Half health.
I flip. Yeah, once we fire, there's 2 on Tom. What is that?
I'm trying to come our side, dude, bro. Trying to get to you, still.
I'm trying to step. I'm gonna hit outer. Yeah, I'm trying to.
On table heady.
I get shot table heady. I'm doing it. I think outer.
Dill's outer.
I'm outer, guys. I don't see anything here. There's slide. They know I'm here, though, dude. I'm trying A long.
Alright.
I don't see him. A long behind me.
Gotta take her out here. We gotta take her out
I'm
here.
outer right now.
You
Right
gotta
outer. Outer done. Nice one. I'm stoned.
Yeah, I'm in fire. Yo, A long. A long funny hill.
I know the
A long
also
sip, one shot. A long sip, one
I
shot.
had him once.
on the fucking table, one shot, bro.
I'm take her. I'm hitting her
Close
fast.
left. I got one shot back.
Outer door instantly.
Just got in there, bro.
Yeah.
One give me fire already.
I hear you.
That's one
Play
dog.
out their door.
Yo, Lamar's on a 5. Lamar's on a 5.
I hear you.
I'm fired. Lamar's on a 5.
I'm their door.
Okay, I can help you doubles.
I see the door.
I'm back
pushing it
left.
out.
Another one
I
top
see
mid.
anything?
Top mid.
Hey, I'm getting top mid.
Yeah, he's our door.
And one is in
Instantly
fire.
our door. He's gonna go open.
I can't see that guy,
Fire
bro.
door.
Hey, I don't see this open.
Fire tank.
I spawned
Fire
guy.
Fire tank and deep dogs, bro.
Deep down.
Fire tank and deep dogs.
I got one
Fire
side.
dogs.
I'm
Yeah, Lamar streak.
Step.
Fire
Step.
dogs. Front train.
Yeah, killing this guy or no?
Front train.
All right, Kenny sounds like he wants to fucking break something, and I can't say I blame
Yeah,
him.
listen,
Well-
Tom. I got some breaking news. We got an Easy Mag tweet. This map's all but over. So pull up the Easy Mag tweet because this is some good information.
Yep, sure.
Minnesota is going to officially start in the losers bracket at their own major. They're
That's
for
tough.
sure out. It's going to be definitely Minnesota, Paris, and Thieves. The last 3 or 4 teams, I should say, are kind of still to be decided based on tomorrow's games. Florida with the best chance to make winners out of the 4, but it's either going to be New York, Toronto, or Seattle. It's looking like it's most likely going to be Seattle, but it could potentially be any one of them. So yeah, that's pretty tough for your own home major. You're going to start in the losers. Like you could potentially, I don't know where they'll fall, but they could play a pretty good team that falls out of round 1 and be, first rounded out of their own major. That would suck. That would really suck for the Rokkr fans.
There's a lot of shit that can go on here. New York locked in with a win. 2-3 loss gets them above Florida. Toronto
Who's New York
win, and
play?
you're in. They play. Who does New York play tomorrow?
Is it Ultra?
Ultra. Yep, that's exactly what it is, Chris. I just couldn't remember.
This is a good match for
Yeah,
them.
yeah. It's a really good. Tomorrow we have a really big day. There's going to be a lot of good matches. We got 3 matches tomorrow, and they're all big matches. So tomorrow's going to be good. That does suck for Minnesota Rokkr, though. You never want to start in the losers at your own tournament. That blows. Like that fucking sucks. But what are you gonna do, man? It's the way the cookie crumbles. Some they weren't able to capitalize, and we'll get to the Minnesota Rokkr series because again their struggles continue. But this map was all but over. Like I said, the second rotation hits, and again it was Seattle who were able to somehow break this P4 hill. Because again, Chris, what happened? Chris, what happened?
They're not looking at the right side of the
They're
map.
not looking at the right side of the map. That's the most important thing. Pick up the right side of the map.
That's actually like the 3rd or 4th hill, by the way. That,
I don't understand.
That's like the 3rd or 4th hill this map. They got insta broken. It even happened right before Pat introduced us to the tweet. They had rotation to P2. They had everyone set up, and they insta got wiped and got broken like right away after they had 4 dead. Like their communication is terrible, man, and they're just not looking at the right shit. Like they're checked out, man.
Because
like
checked out.
it
And
doesn't,
they're
it doesn't
better
fucking
than
make
this.
sense, dude.
They're better
of course
than this.
we dude. Look at
These
their
players,
team.
their players are so good, bro. These players are smart,
not
great
working
players.
out,
They're
bro.
checked out. They're checked out
They went
now.
from the best hardpoint team in the entirety of the first, the first qualifier in major. Like,
Yeah, I mean they
they're
didn't
just
get worse
compromised.
individually. They're just not in a good mind state. They're all in a slump. They can't put it together. They're just.
I think they all know a change is looming, right? Some change, whether it be a role swap or a roster move or something. I think it's all looming over all of them, and we've seen a lot of teams, right? Like just recently with New York, and you saw Clay and Kramer tweeting about it, like. They went in to play Florida the next day after having like discussions between everybody about a roster move is something we're thinking about. And it's just like I feel like that's kind of just looms over everybody, and it's gonna affect
Once
their
you
play.
have that conversation, like
over.
it's shocked.
Yeah.
Period.
I agree.
Because everyone just loses confidence in whatever the hell people are saying. So
Yeah, I mean, good
But-
job by Seattle Surge to clutch up, get the dub. I definitely think it was more of an LA Thieves checked out than a Seattle Surge turning up. But Seattle Surge,
It
listen.
was a must win for them at the end of the day, right?
was a must
'Cause, like,
win.
They needed that to
yeah.
not be guaranteed losers.
And I personally, I mean, you guys might disagree. I like the Seattle Surge roster. I like it. I feel like they have potential to be good, but they definitely, they still got to clean some things up. But today they took
I
care
don't
of
disagree
business.
with you, Tom. I said it. I think they have talented pieces. They
Yeah,
just
me
haven't been
too.
able to
I
put it
agree.
together. When I looked at that team and we were, everyone was like, blow them up. Like, bro, you look at their team and they have nothing else they can do. If you think about it, they picked up a whole bunch of challenger players. What are they going to do? They're going to reach into challengers again. They have some of the best challenger players on their team. They have nothing else they can do. On top of that, I wanted to say I really liked the interview that Pred had with the CDL because it kind of reinforced the idea that we're talking about right now. They just had to sit down. They had to have a very strict conversation with their coach, their management, themselves as players, and they started to put in work. They're not the best team in the world. But if you watch their interview, you can put it on if you'd like. Yep. He basically said, they started getting on early, working hard, watching a ton of VOD. Like they're really making an effort to try to make the, team work rather than just sitting there and making excuses, right?
Yeah, well, let's listen to Pred. Let's listen to his interview. But go ahead, Pat.
I want to see what happens after the major because I mean we've had these combos with them, and I feel like they said this in the beginning, right after they had that really bad stage 1. They said the same thing, and then they beat FaZe and then lost. Like. To me, I just think that they still need more. They still need to prove more to me based on how good they were in the beginning and how much they fell off and how fast they fell off. I'm still not sold, but yeah,
let's listen to the Pred interview. Let's see what AG had to say.
One, it's not the Seattle Surge that we expected to see, right? What is your mentality and just like the team's hopes going into Minnesota?
I feel like for us, obviously we had a bit of we went through a bit of a slump. Obviously we're new players, so like the league is obviously a bit different to us. So we're just adjusting to like the gameplay and like making sure we adjust our fundamentals and stuff like that. So for us, we've been just really focusing on like watching VOD, making sure that we're doing the right plays. Because at the end of the day, we know our ceiling's high. We know we've got the gun skill and all that type of stuff. It's just more about how do we put that together as a team. And how we approach our fundamentals the correct way. I think that's one thing we were lacking. We've had a tough schedule, but man, I'm glad that we're showing some life and showing some of our old ways, man.
Pred, congratulations on the win.
I thought we said
also,
a Pred interview,
played
not a Zinni interview.
And I wanted to ask you,
when
you guys sort of hit your slump, was it you think you figured out the game earlier and other people got a little bit complacent, or was it just maybe a little bit of a mental aspect to it? Because it seems like you and Sib now seem so much more comfortable when you're playing like how you were during kickoff time.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's a bit of both, man. Honestly, it's a bit of the mentality, and it also comes with, like you said, people catching up.
Yeah.
We were so ahead at the start of the game that so we kind of knew what to do. But then obviously people caught on. That's the league. People are gonna adjust. They're gonna get better. And obviously for us being new to the league, we obviously didn't really understand that to an extent. But and also the mentality. When you lose a few games, you start thinking doubts always come in your head, like maybe I'm doing the wrong play, but that's something that we've thrown out the window and just trust our ability and trust our game plan.
And I have a follow-up question to that, because
now
you've had quite some time now at the pro level, and you're playing so well against some of the best teams in the game.
Good mentality.
What has been the biggest difference in terms of preparation going into matches? Like, how much more strenuous is it, and how have you handled that up until this point?
Honestly, man, we get here hella early now. That's one thing. We used to rock up whenever we wanted, but we rock up hella early now.
Yeah.
Make sure we do our VODs every day. We always we're criticizing each other a lot more now. Just stuff like that we didn't do as much as we should have before. So I feel like that's something that we've built in our team, which is helped us from preventing bad plays or bad ideas, XYZ, stuff like that.
That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah, big time. Hey, congrats, Pred.
Man, and there you have it. Pred, he was doing his thing, man. Doing his thing. Good interview. It's always good when you see some of the rookies stepping up and doing interviews. Shout out to Pred and Capsule and some of these other guys who have been stepping up and doing that, man. Let's get into the vetoes in the next series, man. We got the Boston Breach going up against the fucking Florida Mutineers, ladies and gentlemen. This one wasn't really that close. This was a 3-0 sweep.
Listen, of all the series today, we should go through this one the fastest. Listen, Mutineers 1-9 their last 10 maps.
What's going on with them, Pat? What's happening with these fucking guys?
I don't know.
What
Map
doing?
It's not good, bro.
Map 1, the last 5 hills, they literally got 13 points to close out the game, and literally 5 total hills. Breach are obviously on another level. I think Breach have, I mean, and we've kind of talked about this, but it's a continuous thing where they're really stepping up to the plate and proving a lot of people wrong. I think, you know, some people in the beginning weren't too sure where to put them. And I think, you know, they were saying like, hey, like, we think we're a lot better. You saw Capsule in his interview. It was like, we think we're a top 3 team.
Top 3, yeah.
They're 10-2 in their last 12 maps on a 5-map win streak. I think this is their 9th straight hardpoint win. So they're actually 2 off the CDL record of 11, which was Huntsman in Modern Warfare and FaZe and Subliners in Cold War. So yeah, they're frying right now. Zinni's frying. All of them are kind of on hitting new levels. And
Zinni is ultra mega frying.
Yeah, what's going on with Zinni? What do you think's changed in his lifestyle?
I think there was a buff. I think there was a.
You think so?
Yeah, I think there was a buff.
Yeah.
A Zinni cat buff.
Hey,
Zinni cat buff.
Hey, mate, listen, you find the right one, you get buffed. You find the wrong one, you get nerfed. You know what I'm talking about? So I feel like Tony's feeling himself right now. But go ahead, Chris, go ahead.
But just talking about that, like you said, they see themselves as the top 3. Like, bro, at this rate, see, you got Optic, FaZe, but I can't think of a single team that is as good as these guys right now, at least performance-wise. Like, it used to be 100 Thieves. You know, we used to, you know, bring up Ultra in the conversation, but like, bro, all like these teams, their time is gone right now. Like, they're just not as good as these guys. Breach looks like a top 3 team. Like, and
I'm gonna pull a page out of the Doug book to play devil's advocate. Is this? I want to see this Breach team do this on LAN. If they can come to this next tournament and beat some of these top teams, I obviously don't know the bracket. You know, we were kind of criticizing them, which isn't their fault by any means. You can only play who's in front of you. But the bracket they had at the previous major wasn't the toughest. So yeah, I think they've been frying online, and I want to see them come into this major because they're obviously going to be in the winner bracket and make a run. And if they do that, I think their claim for top 3, top 4 is going to be undisputed at that point.
People are talking about London, and yeah, London's a great team, but they've been really quiet this stage. And granted, they, you know, had that little
had some
time with
problems.
Paul, and they've had issues, but I mean, we'll see when it hits LAN. Obviously, the only thing that we have right now is the results in front of us. We're not really looking at stage 1, because if we were looking at stage 1, we would be calling Thieves, you know, one of the worst teams, right? But at the end of the day, like Boston, with the way they're playing online right now, they're looking like a top 3 team. You can't argue that, right now.
Well, the reason why I bring it right here to the second rotation of hard points is because Florida couldn't buy a fucking point. I think it was Boston who was able to. Boston was able to chain 3 hills and pretty much end the game. We do have a listening with the Florida Mutineers. Pat, you want to listen to it, or do you not even want to hear it?
I don't even want to hear it, Tom. Listen, this team.
Here we go.
Man, I just feel like when we get anything outside of Bocage hardpoint, this team sucks. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what they need, but.
They have too many ARs, Pat. They got all. It's a fucking team full of ARs.
But they're not good at the AR maps.
Yeah, it makes no. They're good at Bocage.
That doesn't matter though. Even in the AR maps, you need subs. You know, like
I know.
Right now their roster doesn't work. It doesn't work.
But to argue against that, there's like look at Scump. Like they have 3 ARs on this map. Like, and they have 3 AR players. They should be good at this map if you're looking at roles alone. Like, they're just, I don't know. We've talked about this Florida team every single year. They just need to change. Like, I don't think Caesar and Sky, and Awakening work well together. They definitely need some sub pressure, but they need some leadership, bro. Like, I don't know what it is. It just doesn't seem like they can put it together in their actual matches. They just lack what other teams do. Yeah.
They need a lot. Like.
They need a lot of work.
But they desperately need another sub, bro. Desperately.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Vivid
man.
has got the weight on his shoulders.
He does. I feel bad for. I feel
bro.
like Reese is gonna he has to do it all with a sub. You know, unless it's Bocage, where it's like, okay, he gets. Bocage is a fucking anomaly in my book. You know, like, I mean, Bocage is just a fucking mix fest. Skies has been performing on Bocage, but I mean, Skies is not a natural sub player. He just isn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I definitely think they need to do something with this roster as well. Blow it up. I don't know if you're gonna blow the whole thing up, but you know, do something. You're gonna have to do something.
Call me crazy. See, I think Skies is a good AR, but I'm not gonna lie. I think the reason why they're good at Bocage is because when he pulls out a sub, it just makes him play completely different. Like, it's almost like he's better with the sub in terms of his impact. Because I mean, Caesar's disgusting. He's got a good shot. I think he's got good positioning, but he's definitely a little bit on the slower side in terms of like AR play, and like that's not gonna work when you already have like Dave at the same time. I mean, I don't know what it is, but if anything, I think they might be good at Bocage because because I think whenever he uses a sub, he picks up his pace, and I think that helps him on that mixy map.
Love the break from Boston here. Love this shit. I like how players, instead of just flooding hill, they take routes. Or not the break, but I just like the routes they take. You can see Capsule initially off the spawn with Tony. They get kills, but they work up mid. And they get ring control. You don't see a lot of people doing this. You can just tell that Boston's on the same page with each other right now. So, good plays here. This was just another hill chain going into this to this P3 or whatever the fuck it is.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead, Pat. No problem.
Yeez is on their substitute spot, right?
Florida, yeah.
He's got to be losing full, because I imagine like everybody right now is like, why does Florida not have more fucking subs? Like, why are they not trying to get a sub? Why do they have 3 ARs? And he's literally a main full, very aggressive sub. I think Chris, you've played with Yeez before. Like he's a very aggressive sub. Why would like he's got to be thinking like, yo, when am I gonna get the call to at least fucking try something out? Because
well, apparently, is he getting called out? Everybody's saying Yeez tweet in the chat. Apparently, this guy
said that he tweeted that he's excited for the future.
Excited for the future. It might be time for Mr. Yeez to step up. You know what I'm saying?
Thank God.
Chris, what do you think about Yeez? I from what I've heard, he's a good player. I mean, he has aggression. I know that, right? He's very aggressive.
Yeah, in Cold War I played with him, and we had a stint in the Stage 2 Elite where he was really good. Like he was actually like MVP status in our Stage 2 Elite that we won together. But I haven't really seen too much of him on this game. I haven't paid attention to challengers as much as I usually have, but I mean, he's a good player. I think they could definitely benefit if he plays up to his standards.
He could be bad, but the fact that he's an aggressive sub, I think will help them. Yeah, he could literally come in and drop 0.5s, but like, dude, they just need some people that are moving on the map.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, if all else fails, Caesar, pull up the sub, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. You got Dave and Awakening on your team. You got Awakening in the more aggressive AR role. I know Dave can be kind of a slug sometimes.
To a full time.
I mean, just try it. Like,
I just feel like Caesar's too good on the AR to be doing shit like that. Bo Cage is a different type of map.
Yeah, true. He is good, but like, I don't know. I think Caesar can get a little cracked with it, man. I'm telling you, he's a talented kid. So
maybe. I mean, maybe they should give it a go. I mean, listen, I like when I say aggression, I don't just mean have a sub run around and go crazy. Even the ARs need to be aggressive. Everybody needs to be aggressive. Everybody needs to move together at a fast pace. Sometimes you have teams where the AR is so slow, the subs are all over the place, and the pacing's off, Like, everybody needs to play at the same pace.
I mean, that could be what New York's struggle was, right? And why Neptune was just adamant that he was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, it could definitely, like, I feel like pacing is one of the main issues usually when you look at a team that's struggling. Like, their pacing is off.
Especially in these CODs, right? How fast they can be played.
Yeah.
Like we talk about it like the bow cage effect, but also just how with tac sprint, it's very kind of, you were talking about it, Chris, like the timing is so different. Like you're able to get back in the action so fucking fast.
Yeah.
So it's that much more important for teams to be on the same pace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
TJ here was able to clutch a 1v2. He was able to take somebody out in the back. He was able to get this bomb down A, and then just pretty much finesse the map. Dave Patty tried to go for the ninja defuse on him here. But TJ just wasn't having it. TJ was able to take him down, tied up at 1. One thing I just wanted to know in this map, bro, this guy TJ Haley was in the fucking spawn every round. He just kept booking it onto the flank.
They weren't watching it. They would play a spread every round, right? And they still wouldn't pick up the pinch.
Look at number 3 go. Look at him go. All right, every round he gets him behind. And honestly, it didn't even work though, because they lost these couple of rounds. They salvaged it. Florida was able to salvage it. But, I mean, I don't know how this happens. Like, bro, he did it 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
It starts with this round. He gets him from behind. He gets a kill, but Dave Patty's able to find him, and it's a 2v1 situation. Florida clutch it up. And then we get into the next round, and he does the same exact thing. Look at where he is off the start of the round. He runs right through mid, right through bottom mid, all the way to back broken. How are they not looking at bottom mid? Look, he runs right through to their base. Look. This is just like crazy to me how he was getting here in less than 20 seconds into the round. He's able to find one. And again,
you can go back and pause it. If you saw it while number 7 was edging up on the trench, number 8 at the top of the church is literally looking at number 7. They're basically looking at the same shit. You'll see in a second. Number 8's gonna wrap up to the tower,
and he gave it up.
And then he gave it up, but at the same time, he's look at what he's looking at. Look at his arrow. He's looking towards number 7.
Yeah, no, they were looking at the same shit, and then he had to give it up to get into position. And TJ found a gap. So good plays coming out of TJ, but it wasn't enough. Again, like I said, TJ was getting in behind, and Florida was still salvaging the rounds. I don't know how. Third round, TJ again hits the same route. This time it works. He runs all the way through. Look where he is. 20 seconds. He's already in the base. I like it from TJ. I like the aggression. They're down 1-3, and he's not letting off that gas pedal. He's still fucking pushing that thing down. So definitely like the confidence coming in from TJ. Really big win there from fucking Awakening. Jesus Christ. But in a 3v1 situation, Boston were able to salvage the situation. TJ, he hits the right, gets the kill. And then this is where Boston start to bring it back a little bit. Things got a little bit crazy here. Boston, they start bringing it back. This went very back and forth. This was the offense where they were able to tie it up. They do a little bit of a B rush, which honestly, you see a lot of people trying to work this B bomb plan, try and rush this right away. If you get that one kid watching it, I guess they picked up on Reese sniping on that B side of the map and probably said, hey, this guy's all by himself. If we could, single chow or solo this guy out, as long as you kill Reese, you have an open bomb plan at B. So that's exactly what they did. And get the B bomb down. And, it always gets a little scary when you get this B bomb down because ninja diffuses happen like no other on this fucking map. Yeah. Everybody always hops on that B bomb. So Boston was able to salvage it, tie it up at 3. And then let's get into the 4-4 round because that was a pretty much a swing round for me. The 4-4 round was nuts. This is when Capsule was able to make a play. And we can see how Boston, they went up. Florida was able to capitalize on the defense. Boston, they tried to wrap it towards A. Good retake coming out of Florida. How'd they retake that? Through their spawn. It looked like Tony might have went a little rogue. He was trying to chow Reese, and Reese with some good snipes there.
Dude, your chat is hilarious.
And they're always spamming copy pastas and shit, Chris.
What
I don't
is this
know,
copy
bro.
pasta?
They always spamming stupid shit in here.
I couldn't even focus on the game, dude. I just
Yeah,
read
dude,
chat.
I don't know what they're doing.
By the way,
This was a big round, though. This 4-4 round was big right here.
Florida has not won a single series where Bocage Hardpoint wasn't in the map rotation.
Wait,
They
they haven't won one series, not one, unless Bocage was in it?
Yeah, correct. If
Jesus
Bocage
Christ.
wasn't in the series, they haven't won a single one.
That's insane. That is fucking insane, bro.
I know we like to talk about Seattle and like 100 Thieves is the blow it up bull, but Florida's in a very similar scenario. And the team has been for a while, man. They're just they just have been lingering near the bottom half of the top 8, top 12 range every single season, and it's got to be frustrating.
I don't want to be disrespectful, but at this point, it's just like, is this franchise serious about winning? Like that's kind of what my question is, because Chris, I think you're right. They've every year, and aside from the 2020 Modern Warfare season when they had Pharaoh, I just haven't seen much, right? Like they haven't seemed like a team that's wanting to try to improve. Each year their roster moves are kind of like
Pharaoh was so big for these guys, bro.
Yeah, I know.
He was literally a game changer.
I honestly don't know if it's maybe they don't have the capital to try to invest and entice some of these other players, or they're so
it's
set,
not that.
or they're so set on their way. Well, I mean, regardless if the organization has a lot of money, it's what their budget is for COD.
No. I'm saying look at some of the players that they're picking up over. Bro, they're making their roster decisions early enough in the offseason, where there is literally better challenger players available that they can sign to the same minimums if they are giving out minimums to their current team. They don't gotta spend a lot of money. I just feel like they're putting together bad rosters. This team has 3 ARs.
I mean, no, you're 100% right. But at the end of the day, I think them keeping Caesar or Skies and Awakening is not panned out for them. On top of all their external pickups, I think Reese was a good pickup.
A nice ninja diffuse here as well.
But besides that, it just doesn't seem like they've had their head on straight with their decision making.
Agreed. Them and a lot of teams, Chris. To be honest,
they're not hits. Yeah, it's not exclusive to Florida.
But you can see there, Florida was able to hop on a ninja diffuse and even retake that bomb site again. I don't know what it is about that B bomb site. It's just hard once a team gets it down. It's hard to find post plant spots to get eyes on that bomb. As long as Florida is able to clear out field, I mean, they're clear to hop the bomb, and that's what they do. They push this to around 11. And let's see how this kind of broke down. You saw Capsule, by the way, the round before that, popping a 2-piece because Florida, again, not picking up this fucking street here. Florida find a first blood here, round 11. They get Capsule here on the bomb site, but I don't know where it all fell apart. TJ hits a good grenade kill, so I don't think Awakening could have done anything about that. Reese is sniping, and he's pushing up with the fucking sniper. Look where he is with a snipe. He pushed right up, right in the beginning of the round with a snipe. He gets tagged. Tony finds another one with a grenade, so maybe Tony and TJ just fucking working some fucking Tom Brady grenades, you know what I'm saying? And able to just clutch up. So they just went big with their attacks
Tony
there.
and Tej did whatever the fuck they wanted this map. Tej was just literally flanking around, and Zin just had like a phenomenal performance in this map and the entire series.
Yeah, which is a good thing. I feel like as long as they're making plays and staying confident, that's definitely a good thing. They were able to clutch up the round. Good plays out of them. Florida, if you're watching, make sure you pick up that fucking street, please, because TJ and Capsule were running through it all game long, and nobody was watching it. So somebody watch that shit. But then we get into the Gavitu Control. And I don't know about you guys, man, but Control all day was just a fucking snooze, dude.
Yeah.
Just a fucking
Just
snooze.
go round 5, bro.
Well, I mean, I guess the thing to just know is the first round, Boston was able to get 5 ticks. And throughout the map, Florida just wasn't able to capitalize on their ticks, you know?
Wasn't it Tej, right, that made that big play to like come in, not a lot of time left, jump on the tank, get that second tick, and then it was like instantly contested and died, but he got the tick.
What, in the first round?
Yeah. I thought it was the first round, right?
Well, let's see what he did to get the kick. So right here, Capsule was on the point. They got to B early. Let's see how they got this tick. When did they get it?
It was at B. It was at the very end of B, or very end of the round when they were at B. I think Tej made a big play to jump on it last second.
I think TJ he went rogue. No, Capsule got it. He got the tick, just sitting on the point.
Was it Capsule?
Yeah, it was Capsule who got on the point. See, he got there early while his teammates are on A. Capsule took a route and went B anyway.
No. I'm talking about the second tick. The second tick.
Oh, the second tick. Did they get 2 ticks? They got 2 ticks here?
Yeah. It was crazy because it was like right at the same time someone contested. Watch it.
Yeah. So Capsule gets the first tick, and then he goes down, and I think TJ makes the play. And gets the next tick. So let's see what happens. Capsule gets 1. He tries to push up, get aggressive. TJ has 2 guys over by the B site. He ends up killing both of these guys here.
It was further in. It was like literally at the end of the round.
What was it? The fucking last 5 seconds?
Yeah. It was like super clutch.
Right here, Capsule again. He gets fucking in there again. Capsule's so annoying to play against, bro. This guy's literally just fucking. He's always just running at you. You know what I'm saying? Chat, I'm not faded, chat. I'm not faded. These controls look the same to me.
It's right here.
You know, hey, check it out. Give me 10 seconds, chat.
0.4, he gets on it. And look, it gets contested, but he gets the second. Like, it gives him the progress.
Nah, it's good play. Good play to TJ. Dude, he barely got that. Barely got the second tick. And look, stuff like that matters now. You know, now that we're playing for ticks and stuff like that. But what I really want to highlight is the solo chows coming in on the 1-2 round from fucking Florida. They could have clutched this round, Pat. They could have won it right here. But they just kept running at them one by one. I don't know what they were doing. I mean, listen, there becomes a point, like, bro, once you have the control, I don't know where the hell they're going here. Like, number 8, right? Like, Reese, he just starts running at the spawn. You see Dave Patty goes down, solo chow after solo chow, and then they get back in there. Once you have ring control and you're pushed up like this, I mean, you just need to slow down if you're Florida.
They just had to pick their nose, wait for the fucking nades to come in, hope they survive the nades, and then get the trades on the point. They just kind of ran at them, challenged angles they shouldn't have, and then they threw the round away. They just threw any sort of fucking opportunity they had to win the round away.
Yeah, I mean, you can see they have the ring control right here. They have 25 seconds left, 11-6 life advantage, right? So they had the lives. Dave Patty finds another one, makes it 10-5. I mean, right here, look, they're running one by one. It's like, hey, man, you guys have to push this point together. You have to. You see Dave Patty pushing up right, or not Dave Patty, you see Reese pushing up right here? Somebody ring needs to push up with them. They have the pinch locked down. I mean, you see number 6 is Dave Patty, who's holding all of mid-map.
They get an opener on that because the guy that's like pinching mid. They have 2 guys watching mid, if you think about it, right? They got the kill, and then there's the other guy green. They have a 3v fucking like 2 on that side of the map, and they still just managed to get cut down without trades.
It seems like they were rushing it almost. Not rushing it, but they were just getting picked. Like they were just solo challenging, like wide challenging. It's like, hey, just hug the right, stay down behind the rocks, and chow together. Like do something together. They end up going into an overtime because of that. I felt like if they could have just got one wave of kills, Chris, and just got on the point, stopped the clock, they're golden. Boston had no lives left. They would have pushed this to a 4th map. But instead, Boston, they ended up clutching it because Florida just kept running at them. And now we're in a fucking overtime, and Boston's on the defense. And have we even seen an offense win on Gavitu today? I don't think we saw one today. We saw... Yeah, no, wait. We didn't see one today. I don't think. We saw one on Tuscan with Seattle. But on Gavitu, it's really hard to get this B point. And Boston was just able to secure it.
Listen, at the end of the day, thank you, Boston, for clutching up this map because it just stopped us from going map 4, which you would have won anyway. So to me, it was a big win because it wasn't a Bocage map 4. So shout out to Boston for clutching up, saving us all some time. and Pain.
Yeah.
Tommy!
Tony, boy, what's happening? Tony, what's happening? Talk to
Nothing,
me,
man.
Tony.
Just
Talk to me. What's going on?
I mean, nothing. Just a casual 1.8.
Hey, bro, Tony, you be coming in here every flank, bro. You just, hey, dude, you
I
just.
literally just got home.
No, I'm saying like every flank you come in here like casual 1.8, 1.7,
I mean,
2.0.
fuck,
This,
what
that.
else
Yo,
is
yo,
there?
Tony,
Tom,
you're an
hold on.
animal, bro. You're an
Tom,
animal.
you know what's funny? This wasn't happening before a certain event.
I know,
you know?
it's crazy.
He
31 and
wasn't coming on the
18.
flank bragging
Hey,
about it. The stats weren't happening.
I don't know. I don't know what's
think-
going
I
You
on.
guys just can't stop, huh, man?
Tony,
you
I
guys,
think it's-
you guys
Zinni,
can't
you
just
look
say.
good,
Tony,
bro.
Tony,
Zinni,
it looks
Zinni,
like
you look
Tony.
good.
Tony,
You
I don't
got
think
it.
you can
guys
stop
can't just
Tony.
say-
It's.
you
I
guys
think it's
can't
time
just
you
say-
admit.
You guys can't just say, you know what? He's really just playing well. He's looking like
no,
the-
we
I can.
can't.
You look good out there. Zinni.
Not,
Shit.
not,
Thank
not
you,
until
Aggie.
you
I'm proud of
admit
you,
that
man.
there's been a buff recently in your.
I hear you.
I mean,
Take off that fucking hat. Take off that hat. We'll see what that haircut looks like.
I
mean-
haven't had a haircut in 5 months, so when I get one, I will gladly.
I mean,
Zin,
hey,
Zin, I'm happy for you and Teach,
Thank you.
man. Seriously.
yeah, I mean, Tony, you guys look good today. 3-0 looked pretty
Thank
easy. I mean, it didn't seem like you guys really struggled at all. I mean, we just kind of breezed by your series. So first hard point, you guys chained 3 hills, won the map. S&D got a little close. Talk to me a little bit about the S&D. Why'd it get so close? I feel like you guys are fucking playing super aggressive. You were running at them. I kind of liked it, though. I liked it, though.
I mean, Florida's a really good search team. I mean, you can say what you want about their respawn, right? Their roles are definitely a little weird, but they are a good search team. They always have been. So they're always going to be a tough search win. I don't
As
know.
good as they are,
I mean, they were finding
1 and 4 in round 11s.
They were finding some good picks. There were some rounds that were close that went their way. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like it was just 2 good search teams going at it.
Yep. And in the control, you guys are just able to clutch up. You won all your Ds.
Yeah, 31 and 18.
Yeah, 31 and 18, 1.8. Tony, we're already done with your series. You joined a little late, but you're more than welcome to kick it with us as
Yeah,
we
I'll
go
kick
into the Optic series. So let's get into it. We got the Los Angeles Gorillas going up against Optic, Texas. Gavitu Hardpoint, Desert Siege, S&D, Gav Control, Tuscan Hardpoint, Bocage, S&D. A little bit unfortunate today for the Los Angeles Gorillas. Gunless found himself very sick today. Apparently he was throwing up, and every 5 minutes, apparently he couldn't even play. And
I think you gotta go to Spart's tweet, bro.
he tweeted something.
You didn't see it today, like
No,
after
what
the
it-
series. It was
Oh,
pretty
after
good. It was
this.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll
no.
be right back, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, you're good.
It
Go
kinda-
do what you got to do, man.
It
But
kind
yeah,
of explains what happened.
you're talking about this one
This
right
one,
here.
yeah.
I was mid Challenger 2K about to play against Gecko, and then I blinked and I'm loading into Gavitu against Scump and the Optic Texas boys. So Spart having a rough day. I mean, Pat. I think we can both agree that getting thrown into a series, especially against Optic Texas with no practice,
That's tough, bro. You
That
gotta
is
think
tough.
too, because he
I would
probably
have killed
like.
Horde so hard. I
Bro.
wouldn't even have tried to win.
Well, he
I
didn't
mean,
do that, but you got to think he probably woke up late, chilling, like knowing he's got a bunch of easy challenger matches from a
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
And then he's, LAG call, yo, you got to spawn in against Optic, my boy. And then he got put in
That
a
is
blender,
tough, bro.
especially back to back Gavitus on respawn. It wasn't his day by any means.
Anything with the vetoes, Pat? Do you want to talk about? Anything you want to talk about?
I think it
Zanny
would
or
have been a
Chris?
decent series if Pierce was playing, just because I think LAG is getting, looking a lot better. But Tom, we got to talk about LAG and Control. They are, I think I had the stats somewhere. Pull it up really quick. They are 4 and 25.
Damn.
Who's 4 and 25?
In offensive round wins in Control.
Jesus.
4
Damn,
and
I
25.
can't talk about
The
anything
worst. I
control-wise.
think it's the worst in the league.
We might
Interesting.
be up there.
13%.
Well, I can
win
tell you why. I
percentage.
mean, they don't stack points. They just be running. They get kills in
and
control.
they never capped a B
Oh
point
my
either.
God,
So
that's
probably why.
God. I definitely think LAG really needs. Guys, stop spamming 4 and 22. Seriously, go fuck yourselves. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's
Fucking
4 and
Hey,
25.
look, come on. What the
You
fucking
fucking
ass? What the
pricks.
fuck is this shit?
Douchebags.
Okay.
It's a valid stat line, man.
Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, it's not bad. All right, let's keep it going.
They've also been 3-0'd 4 times now. The
Damn.
Gorillas have, and Optic is now 3-0'd people 5 times. So
I mean, we could get into the hard point. We'll get to the control, but I mean, in the control, LAG just has the same problems we always said. They don't get on points. They'll put one guy in the point to stop the clock, and then they go rogue and try and get those kills down. But it's an objective game mode now, right? With the takes especially, so they're definitely
Dude,
gonna
they
have to
were-
start getting on points.
I think it was in the 2-2 round. They were in like the perfect spot to finally stack a point and try to at least win. They got like I think it was like 3 or 4 kills. Optic spawning out back house, and they just kept trying to spawn trap them. And eventually, Optic will obviously just get the kills. Like Optic is not gonna let you spawn trap them for that long.
No.
Optic gets the kills. You have 30 seconds to try and break one of the best teams in the best team in the world. Sorry, Greenwall.
The second best team, yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, at that point, you just I'd be screaming, stack!
Bro, at the end of the day, like LAG was playing with a sub, and they were missing one of their better players. No offense to Spart, but on top of that, Big P's a big person, like leadership guy for them, and they were playing the best team in the game. And Optic played this phenomenal. They played a lot of maps that they don't usually play, right? But they looked really good on them. So if anything, we got to show love to Optic as always. Those guys are on a different level right now. I mean, they're on a different level right now.
We know, Tony. We know you don't.
I love Scump.
We know you don't. We definitely should tune into the Optic Texas listening. I'm pretty sure it was early on, right? Wasn't there a listening over here? I could be wrong. But it was
back-to-back listenings.
It was the second rotation where Optic was able to build a lead and take full control. But here we go. Here's the listening. It starts in the middle of this P5 going into the second rotation of hard points. Let's tune in to Optic Texas.
One could have got through me, Yo,
one guy could be P1, guys. I only have their side, okay?
Yo,
their side P1.
He's R here.
Right here.
You trying to give me time? Absolute. I could probably get an angle.
I'm pinching.
No, what is P4?
I got one.
When is that ever playing?
On me.
Yeah, I'm still holding time.
On me, a bunker.
Yo,
bunker one shot, Kyler, right now.
Wait, their shot. Our side. He was P4. He probably pushed up.
Are you? Yeah, I'm needing it. Go from mid-stairs. Yeah, watch over. Yeah, I'm going from mid-stairs as well. Yo, Rock. Our side. One gonna be our side. One gonna be our side. Our side as well.
Their stairs, weak.
Our side.
We're looking for one.
Our side not challenging.
Yeah, I'll take the other guy. Our side.
And mid-stairs. Yeah, keep ironing it. One guy's our side.
I don't see him our side.
One's their side also. Our side.
Wait, Ender, I have help.
It's like 3 times.
Where's he? 3 times. I'm needing it. I need outer.
Seth is going crazy right here.
Outer challenge me. Our side. He's free. Good shit, Seth.
Yeah. Oh, when is that?
It's really good 25.
How's that pistol still allowed, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, we can push you out as well. I stand over set that on team.
Yo, what's up P5?
I stand there side.
Flash. He's at the boxes.
He's nading over, I think, Ender.
Are you?
He's like
I don't see him, Seth.
He's like, I think he's on top of man.
I'm nading. I'm watching outside.
How about these comms?
Nice. So good comms from Optic, per usual, doing what they do. You said it, and then let's go into the Los Angeles Guerrillas listening. There was back-to-back listenings, which I actually kind of like. Let's tune in.
I'm seeing. Yo, back.
Beat on tank, done.
I'm seeing top green. Nice, good job.
You're still in the pin.
Yo, mid-stairs, Ender, that's him.
That's him.
Where's the other one?
Seth. He's in mid-stairs.
That's probably close.
Hey, keep it close. I'm looking. I'm challenging him. Yo, he's beat on you. Their side beat on.
Yo, shot that.
Hold.
Back there green.
I got one there. Low pain. Okay,
I got low propane. Dashi, top green.
They beat on. Done.
Top green, Dashi, last guy.
Top green, child me.
I'm getting out.
to you guys.
I'm trying to stay on. I'm helping you on it.
He's on me in time.
Shotzi's above you.
Beat on top. Shit. I'm on you guys.
Top
and beat on.
Alright, last two are old.
I'm on you guys.
We gotta help him.
Beat on. He's still, you
Yo,
got
we can get your top gun. I got
I'm
your top gun.
I'm spawning deep.
Give me shortcut.
In the back, Ender, one shot. Absolutely
Beat on.
beat
Another
on.
one flying at you. Weak.
Dead.
One's gonna work up ring. One's gonna work up ring on you.
Is he?
Weak, old.
Yo, he got me in the back. He's flying at you, Ender.
Ender dead.
One's top ring.
We gotta help Austin.
Both of these listenings between both of these teams were
Yeah, it's a good listening from both teams. I think right here is where LAG maybe could have brought it back, but they just lost all their ones. You can see right here, Austin's on the hill. Kyler ends up tagging this guy. It was Illy who was trying to cross to him. Or not Illy. It was right before this. He ends up tagging a guy. Austin was able to get on the hill, but LAG just lose all the ones here. They lose the ones ring, and Optic Texas were able to storm on in. So that was a good opportunity for them to maybe bring it back. But again, Optic just too strong.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
LAG's looking a lot better than they were in the first stage. And it's weird because Pierce was probably their best player in their most recent series. And I will say for to Spart's defense, it's not easy, especially we saw his tweet. Coming into this series versus Optic, no one really expected him to pop off, but Pierce has been playing well, and I think Optic just an overall better search team. But these respawns were pretty close. Obviously, more so the control, especially considering they had a fill-in. So props to LAG. I feel like they've improved a bit.
No, I mean LAG look good. They've been looking good. Asim. I mean Asim has been
a lot.
Asim has been frying. I mean Asim's been fucking frying. Slash has really stepped it up. Big P's been really good for them. And I also think the whole team has stepped it up big time, to be honest. Definitely sucked. Today I was really excited for the series. And then once they brought in Spart, no offense to Spart, it's just because he hasn't been on the team, right? So for me,
he should have killed Horde, man. Oh, I wouldn't have moved.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he definitely maybe should have killed Horde a little bit, you know, maybe be a good play, but Optic Texas, I didn't think this map was close at all. Optic ran away with this shit. The second rotation of hard points, they changed P1, P2, and P3, and was able to pretty much just storm through this map.
Yeah.
Bro, Scump is literally LeBron right now, like dead ass.
Yeah.
No, seriously though.
Died?
Well, I mean, Tony, I'm just being honest. I mean, he's in his later. He's in the later half of his career, and he's a main sub, and he's still fucking doing what he does. You know, like that's tippable, bro. Like that's respectable.
Abner's gross right now.
He's
you gotta stop. You gotta suck my balls, Jokester.
All right, Jokester, suck his balls. But yeah,
It's
Scump.
annoying as fuck sometimes. We don't know who you are.
All right, Tony, shut the fuck up, Tony. Jesus
keep going. I'm
Christ.
sorry. Keep going.
But yeah, Scump had a really good first map. He popped the fuck off. He ended up 25 and 16. The rest of his team was negative. Scump was the only one positive here. And Optic were able to take care of business. They had to get 3 more points here, but they ended up LAG was crawling back into it. But since Optic had the P1 rotation, they were able to lock down. They got the kills here, and they closed it out. So good job from Scump. Take a look at the final scoreboard. He ended up 28 and 19. So just a really, really good map number 1 from Scump to get things going, doing what he does. And then we get into the S&D, the Desert Siege S&D. And this one, Pat, Chris, this one was brutal, man. It was brutal for LAG. I felt like Optic Texas was just doing whatever they wanted to do. Shotzi was doing 360s. And I'm pretty sure Shotzi was fucking trolling in the listening. He what did he say in the listening? Something about
these guys were just hopping diffuses. They don't give a as soon as the bomb goes down, Shotzi goes, I'm on the diffuse.
Yeah,
and they get it every single time.
The game starts off with a 1v1, a sniper 1v1 between Spartan and Brucey, but Brucey ends up porking the stun up. He takes his pistol out. And he takes care of business. Am
I wrong, or I'm sorry to cut you off?
No.
I feel like in this game, more than any other one, this is like every single game we see a ninja defuse. Like I feel like it's so prominent in this game.
It's this map especially. Well, we just saw it on Tuscan with Lamar, but that was just LA Thieves just going fucking.
Well, no, that was unacceptable.
That was unacceptable. Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, some of the bombs are just in bad positions, but also there's just so much to check. So once you get like
there's every
sort of information.
Window.
Yeah, or you just literally insta-hot bombs nowadays just because there's just way too much to look for, in my opinion.
Yeah, Scump was able to find a first blood here in this round. LAG tried to wrap it back, and Shotzi made a play. He was able to find a gap. He shoots one in the back, tags one up, and then I like this play. He dips down. They don't have the cross, and he slides under the staircase. They have no idea he's here. Just a really good heads-up play, using his movement to his advantage. Makes it a 2v1 situation at this point. It comes down to Slasher. Nothing he could do. And in the next round, they 2v4. They go crazy here with Shotzi and Dashy. Look at the plays they make. It starts with Bruce. He's going to find one with the snipe on top of the roof. He's going to play his life and get the fuck out of there. Jesus. And then the rest is Shotzi. He's going to sneak through mid. He's going to find 2 through the back. And then I'm pretty sure he picks up this last kill as well. Just completely smokes Hook right here. Hook spots him. Hook tries to chase the kill. And Shotzi on top of the fucking train just takes him down.
I feel like, I mean, listen, I promise I'm not being biased. I feel like this map is probably one of the most fun S&D maps to watch. Like, I feel like there's a lot of close games. This one was a little more of a blowout, but like, if there wasn't this aim assist bullshit on the A side of the map, I feel like this would like undoubtedly be like the best search map in the game. Like, I feel like right now with this map in Berlin.
I think you're off the fucking serious, Papania, in my personal opinion.
I think this map is better than Tuscan.
Hold on, this map.
At least old Tuscan. I haven't really watched the new one.
I disagree with both of y'all.
You don't think Siege is better than Bocage and Tuscan Search? You think Tuscan and Bocage are better maps than Siege Search?
Listen, let's stop comparing shit to a little bit better shit.
Well, we have to. We have to.
They're all terrible.
Listen,
That's all we have.
Hold on. I don't think if you eliminate this bullshit aim assist stuff, this map is a top 2 search map. Honestly, it probably is right now. It just gets that much better.
I don't like this field. I don't like this field area of the map. I don't like field at all. Like that whole top side of the map right there is
the buildings. I don't like the trains at B-bomb site. I don't like any of it.
And I don't like the walls. Like I don't like how many broken, destructible walls there are.
Having that field site and having those long sight lines allows you to have snipers, like actual like
people don't snipe.
Dude,
we've seen it. People,
what?
No. People are more effective snaking with an auto than they are sniping. We literally saw Cell beaming every sniper that tried to challenge him. The latest thing I can think of was Cell versus Trey Zero, when Cell was literally just using the fucking like little mountain of dirt and just popping up an auto and just beaming. Listen, bottom line is it's not really an open field, Chris. It's like there's mounds where like you could be just as good with an AR. With how fast you kill in this game, That's absolutely true.
I personally would take Tuscan and Boat Cage over Desert Siege personally, but
I don't know about Boat Cage, but
I don't mind Boat Cage that much. I mean, Boat Cage is pretty slowed down now too. It's not like the map is the map is small, but people definitely play it at a slow pace.
S&D, it's not that bad.
No, I don't think it's that
Respawn,
bad.
that's when you get the Boat Cage brain.
Yeah. Boat Cage brain comes in full effect. You guys just saw prior. I played it a couple times. Shotzi hopping on that Ninja Defuse. And honestly, dude, Optic was just rolling through him. LAG was able to get a couple rounds here or there. This one being one of them. I think Dashy kind of trolled this 1v1, but not like it fucking matters. Shotzi got two. I mean, he tagged. Shotzi gets 2 kills here, ends up getting him a hook weak. I thought Dashy was just gonna jump the corner and just fucking shit on him. He ends up just playing his life, and he tried to play the clock, and he gets picked out, but. Brucey probably could have just fucking rushed him. But, you know, LAG got a couple rounds on the board, and this one was pretty much all over. We could go to see how this one finished out. But final thoughts on the map, Chris, Pat, anything? I feel like LAG was playing with a sub. They're playing the best team in the game. You know.
They're missing their main sniper.
Dude, honestly, such a vibe kill, man.
Yeah.
It's a vibe kill. I felt bad for Big P. I felt bad. I wish we would have had, like, a straight-up... match. I still think Optic would have won, but I mean it would have been better to have LAG's like actual team.
Yeah, I think this could have been a good series if Big P was.
Yeah,
they ninja it again. Shotzi did another ninja defuse to close it out. Go ahead, Chris.
The on the bright side, this wasn't a match that LAG needed to win, which is good.
True. That's what Asim was saying. I mean, they didn't have to win this.
That would have been a heartbreaker.
Asim should have headed back to Toronto for a little bit.
Listen. There were a lot of Linnies so far, so I just want to come out and say I love Optic, and they are undoubtedly.
There was literally 0 Linnies.
No, there was a lot earlier from my Siege comment, so I just wanted to say the Green Wall is just so strong, and they've been undoubtedly the best team in the world, and I just love the Green Wall. Thank you guys.
I love how they're all spamming Winnie too. They Tony,
they're so dumb.
And let's take a look at the Shotzi ended off 13-3. I mean, that's just Shotzi doing what he does, man. 13-3 in an S&D. He was doing what he wants. And another thing, it just looks like they're also just having a lot of fun out there too, which is nice to watch. But let's get into the Gavitu control. Not much to talk about here. Not much. This is all defensive wins, right? Nobody won an offense.
Yeah, I believe so.
You might as well go to the 2-2 and watch.
We could go, but Optic they're on a little bit of a streak here. 11-win series streak now. Is that the record, or they tied the record? They tied.
No, they're 2 off the control record.
They're 2 off the control record, which is 13, but they tied the series record of 11, which was FaZe's record. Now they tied it up. So if they win
Somebody
their next
was saying
series,
that wasn't accurate either, though.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Yeah, I saw.
If they win the next series against FaZe, which is the current series
it's
holder
opposite. It's opposite.
record.
The series streak is 13 and the control streak is 11, I think. They tied the control streak.
No, I'm pretty sure they tied the series streak, but people are saying they tied the control. I don't know. They tied something.
Who cares?
Chat. They're winning a lot. They're breaking records. Okay. I don't know exactly what the exact stats are. Sure, Easy Mac might be able to help us out with that one, but we get into the overtime. And the setup from Optic here was fucking gorgeous. I like their setup here. They had a guy playing on the side. They had a guy in the back. Guy pushed up ring. Again, if LAG goes around the back, even if they're able to get kills, just with the setup they had and because Optic had everything pushed out, they have all the information in the world. So LAG, they kept trying to go around the back. Well, what's wrong?
Sorry. So Brew Gorilla said, I really want Pat to take the hat off. So sorry, that just got me.
Oh, okay.
Nothing about that got you. But like I said, as soon as I get, bro, you think I want to wear a hat? I just haven't had a haircut in 5 months. When I get a haircut, I won't be wearing a hat. It's that simple.
Sorry.
Bro, you guys are listen. Fucking morons.
I can get a haircut at any time, Tony. You can't get a forehead reduction. But Tom, take us into this round 5 control. I really want to see what's going on here.
Listen,
Is my forehead big?
I knew he was gonna.
I mean, to be fair, Optic was just setting it up, man. They always had a guy pushed out right here on the beach and just being annoying. It was Illy in this situation. They had a guy on a point. Illy was able to put some shots down in the hook. He stayed alive here. Been a nuisance. Asen was jumping at him. He was staying down. I mean, bro, it's a Gavitu fucking defense. They set up the same setup every time. One push out beach, one guy hill, one guy hold the back, try and get ring control and just funnel LAG to the left side of the map. If you're LAG, I mean, you're already in winners, right? So for them, it wasn't that big of a loss, but you do got to highlight that Optic Texas came out and took care of business and did what they had to do. They win 3-0 today. It was pretty easy for Optic today. Nothing crazy. So good job. From if you're a Greenwall fan, you're happy. Optic's looking good. They haven't skipped a beat since winning the major.
But hey, Tom, tomorrow though they go up against the best team in the game.
Well, we'll get there, Pat. We'll get there. We'll get there with the predictions. Tomorrow's gonna be a crazy day. I'm so excited for tomorrow.
A lot of important matches.
But look at the scoreboard. Scump and Shotzi, again, these guys are like the duo right now. Like these guys are continually performing. Plus you have Illy, who in my opinion is kind of like the vocal leader for these guys, and then you have Dashy, who's your MVP. Maybe might be negative there, but who gives a fuck? They won a map. Let's go on to the next one. We got the New York Subliners going up against, who the hell did they play again? Minnesota Rokkr, ladies and gentlemen.
This was actually a big match, Tom, because Rokkr it was a must-win. It ended up being a must-win for Rokkr to not make winner bracket at their own major. So this is... Zin, thoughts on that? Just curious.
On what, sorry?
That Rokkr is now going to be in the losers bracket at their own major.
I mean, that sucks, dude.
Blow it up.
Blow it up.
I don't know. I mean, listen, they're a good search team. Obviously, Respawn, they're just inconsistent. Like, they can win maps, but I don't know. This match was a toss-up. I think I actually had Rokkr winning it just because they're better at search, and then New York came out and sort of smoked them in the search, so.
Well, listen, anything in the vetoes, Chris and Pat, anything that catches your eye? Bocage, Gavitu, Berlin, Tuscan, in that order.
Wait, let me see. I'm actually kind of like mind blown that Rokkr veto or like kept Bocage in, because we already talked about how Rokkr has like an AR kind of a like their ARs like they are AR heavy team, like they're not really too good at the sub maps. It seems like.
Well, let me also say
Chris,
this Bocage hardpoint, this first map was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Let's just get right into it.
I have never seen more kill whore play than this map.
Neptune started off what 15-1, 15-1.
Yeah,
and it was like
on the first hill only.
12-1.
It was just the first hill. He was literally 15-1 on like the first hill. But I do want to say, Rokkr's 1-11 in game ones now, Chris. So it kind of doesn't even matter what map is their game one. They're never gonna win it, it seems. And they're also 1-3 on Bocage, despite having the fourth most average point scored on the map. So they averaged 226 points on this map, but they're 1-3 on the map. So
what you're saying is they can't close out maps in hardpoint.
Yeah, and I think that goes for them in general, right? With series, like aside from when they reverse sweep series, sometimes it seems like they can't close maps in general, and I think that's something this team is really struggling with.
Minnesota Rokkr, man. I mean, these guys, they need to do something, man. I definitely think they should look at changing something up. I feel like they're just having the same problems they were having last year, where their pacing seems off, the rolls don't seem right. Fucking, they trying to roll change now, but I don't know. I definitely think maybe thinking about maybe moving Dylan to a main or
Who's
doing
their sub.
Who is their sub? Brian Saint.
Well, no.
Is it Brian Saint?
That might be true, but they have an entire academy team, so maybe one of them.
Yeah, you're right.
They have the Spanish Two Real.
You're right. That's what it is. So
not Two Real. Sorry, Real.
If they wanted to dip into their academy roster and look for external talent there,
but they're all European.
I'm saying if they have access to them, hypothetically, person they'd probably dig into is Real, from the challenger scene.
How's his English? Is his English good?
No idea, but I just know for a fact that he is disgusting. The Spanish players praise them as one of the best Spanish players that just recently came up, and obviously they're finding success over there. But he's definitely the best player on that team.
Chris, Looney is their sub, so they stand no chance making a in-house move that they already have, other than, like you said, grabbing someone from that European squad, which would require a visa and a lot more preparation to go into it, depending on how their English is and stuff like that. So
I still don't understand how these CDL franchise teams are allowed to put coaches on their sub.
I mean, well, to their credit though, they do have an academy team. Regardless if they're a sub or not, it probably wouldn't take much more time to just be like, okay,
why not just make one of the players from your academy? Why not just make one of the players from your academy teams your sub?
Because they maybe, I mean, I'm not saying they do or do not pay them that way, but maybe it's because they don't want to pay those guys,
No, I think it's if you're a CDL player substitute, then you have to be like on the insurance, like you have to have a 401k option.
Honestly,
it's a
okay.
lot that goes into it.
Exactly.
No,
so they
no,
can
no,
kill
no,
two
no,
birds
no.
with one stone
No,
by
I
having
think-
the coach be the
Wait,
same
if
thing.
they're on their
I
academy
agree with
team
Aggie.
though, well, yeah, but I'm saying if they're on the academy team, they're just like 1099 contractors, right? If they're being
That's what I'm
paid,
saying. That's what I'm saying. They can pay them less. They're not obligated to pay them what every other CDL
I don't
team
think
is
the
paid
amount
minimum.
necessarily
why-
matters as much.
Why would you have like okay, let's say there's a promising challengers player. Why not just have your coach in the sub spot? He's gonna go to events anyway, so that challenger player doesn't have to go to events. That's flights, hotel, whatever, and then whatever challengers player you want, you just have more options because you can sign him to like a 14-day contract.
I forgot
and then
about that.
actually, like,
Every
you can
sub has to
actually,
go to the event, Tony. Every sub
but-
has to go to the event. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
believe
okay.
you need one sub
to
at the
Tom-
event.
Yeah, that's true. But to Tom's point, like imagine there's an emergency, right? Like today with this the big P situation. Like if this happens to Rokkr or it happens to I think Paris, who has Theory as their sub, if that's a last minute thing, they don't have options. Like they have to play with their coach. That's their only substitute player.
You're taking a risk. Like you're either saving money and having more access to different players because you don't necessarily have to commit to one. With the risk of basically if something like this, an emergency happens, you have to play with your coach, or you sign them to like the normal deal and stuff like that, and you technically have to put them all on the you have to put them all in the company, you have to pay them more, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you're safer in the aspect of having to sub them in. So I mean, it's just a risk regardless. They do have access to those players. Obviously, they're on their academy team for a reason. So whatever they decide to do, if they're going to look at their challenger team, I think it's probably real if they're looking at one of those players, depending on how his English is.
Yeah, listen, let's get back into the map. This Bocage hardpoint was definitely a little fugazi, but we do got to listen in from the New York subliners. I think the New York subliners look way better right now. And I think especially with the attitude they've been bringing into the interviews and stuff, and just talking to some of the guys from the team, even practices have been going a lot better. So let's hear these comms and see how these guys are talking.
I didn't set him Zig. He's bottom up.
What's me P2? I don't see anything.
Yo, you wanna get bottom up.
Yeah. Nice.
I see that guy. See that.
What can you burn me?
That's in low tank.
Top
one dead.
Nice.
No, 10 dead.
Nice.
Nice.
We're missing one. I'll get time. Missing Prisa. Yo, we might flip. He's gonna be on me.
I'm trying to get you bottom barn.
We haven't flipped. We have not flipped. Just running back close.
I'm bottom barn right now. I'm on the bottom barn.
Yo, he's low tank.
I have your help.
Low tank major. He's ace and D.
Neptune sounds good.
Yeah, Sandy's gonna be barn. He's gonna be barn.
Yep.
Sandy. Sandy dead. Nice. Yeah, one's low tank.
Low tank.
That's pretty much just knocked out alone, bro.
Take your time. Take your time.
Look at those spawns, dude.
I'm hitting him right now.
You see that?
Super weak.
They both
I'm gonna go for a gun check.
Rokkr and New York spawn in the back.
Okay. I'm gonna take one shot.
I'm dead. Top barn. He went out. He's corner hole. He's on side door.
Side door, one shot. One shot on the tree. Don't loot.
We flip.
Kitch. Yeah, Yo, he's front side.
One's absolute.
I'm going in. Nice, good job. I'm going top. I want top, guys. And I'm playing tower.
I have the back right.
I'm wrapping the time, okay?
Yeah, I'm watching
Yo,
left.
he's already deep. Low right. Fuck up.
Low right dead.
Nice job.
It does sound like
Oh,
Asian. What the
behind me, elbow.
fuck?
Tower. He's near tower.
That's fine. Cheers, still.
Low right.
It's tall, bro.
I know.
Attach it low right.
He's not picking me.
Tower.
One shot. One shot. From grandma.
From grandma.
He charged from grandma.
Kitchen, one shot. Yeah, attaching hill.
One shot.
there.
I got one.
Nice. He's right.
All right, so what you guys think about the comms? They sounded pretty good to me.
I think Neptune is like the clear-cut standout. Like I'm not sure if his comms were the same on their former roster, but like he's calling out who's missing. He's saying what's going on. So I don't know. I mean, I
Seems
think
happier.
I think I saw a tweet from him. I guess when they weren't performing well, but how it was when he was benched for a second. He was like, his confidence hasn't been there. He's going to play challengers. He sounds confident there, and I think this map obviously started off like what 15-1. So
Yep, and he's
I think
leading the way
Neptune's,
right
like,
now.
the standout person there.
I mean, even just watching Neptune's POV, this kid was moving today, bro. Fucking moving. Seriously, like when he hits form, the ceiling that this guy has is incredible. And the fact that this guy's name was getting dragged in the beginning of the year was driving me nuts. Because the system that he was put into was just terrible. It was such a bad fucking system for him, and I think he knew that.
I agree, but there has to be some level of like accountability. Otherwise, you can say that for almost any player. Like he wasn't playing well. He was in a bad system, but he wasn't playing well.
Yeah, but it's all situational, Tony.
So like, what else are you gonna say?
Well, hold
Like,
on,
you can't just sit here
guys. Hold on.
You can't
I think
sit
you're
there
getting
and
ahead of
just say
yourselves.
nonstop.
They've only played Paris and Rokkr, and Rokkr has been really bad, especially really bad at hardpoint. And Paris, like, is currently the last team in the league.
Yeah, but they weren't winning series before.
I agree. They've gotten better.
They were
but
terrible.
I still let's not necessarily jump on this like, oh, they're drastically a different team, or not. Sorry, the team wise, but just individually, until we can see it happen against these better rosters, because they were getting smoked by really good rosters, and like I want to see them do that against.
I don't care if these guys are fucking like only slightly better than Paris and Rokkr or whatever the hell the case may be. At the end of the day, they're better than they were, and you just gotta attribute that to the organization
that's true,
finally
but there's
deciding
also
to do
honeymoon
something.
stages. Let's be real here. We've seen this a lot of different teams.
But those are.
I agree, they're better. They're not definitely better, but like let's be realistic about what we're seeing.
Oh, I mean, I agree with you, but those are like not tangible things. All that we can do is really talk about the shit that's in front of us.
Listen,
but
I've been I was a cop player for 20 years. I can talk about the reality of shit that goes into this. You can't too, Chris. Like, let's not just gas it up to gas it up.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm happy for these guys that they're showing signs of life because it looked abysmal before. But the one thing that I will say is Neptune better be fucking messaging Havoc and thanking him, because if it wasn't for Havoc denying him, this guy would have been sent to the Google.
I'm sure he's doing that, Chris.
Yeah, but this guy, I mean, I'm just saying, this guy would have been sent to the gulag. His career would have been tarnished. Now he's actually getting an opportunity to show himself. And granted, they're not the best team in the world. Like, he's performing better. And if he keeps on trending upwards, and this team keeps on trending upwards, if there ever becomes a scenario where this guy has to go somewhere else, like, people aren't gonna fucking write him off, because
this guy's moving.
I mean, I'm sure all of us were ready to write this guy off because he was in a shit scenario and he was playing terribly.
Correct.
So, like, now he has a better opportunity and he's playing a lot better. So I'm happy for him.
I do want to say, and I'm sure you guys have said it on the show a lot, but I see a lot of people saying like Clay was the problem.
Clay and Krim together was the problem.
Clay, exactly.
Yeah, that was a huge problem.
And Krim together were the problem. To act like Clay is not a capable AR player and shouldn't be in this league is simply just not fucking true. So, I agree. Clay on this roster, they were shit. He wasn't good. But to act like Clay wouldn't fit into a pro team would be insane.
I would love to see Clay. I would love to see Clay on another roster somewhere. I don't know which roster, but I would love to see Clay back in there with a different team.
A game or two with the Boston Breach. See if he could put up some 1.8s.
Listen, there's people in the chat saying Clay can't buy a kill. He wasn't getting kills. Well, neither was Neptune, and he's doing fine now. So sometimes you just need to switch up, man. You just need to switch up. Clearly,
a better environment.
Clearly, that New York team was just not working, man. Like, it just wasn't. Something was off, and it's the same thing LA Thieves is going through, right? You just saw Kenny go 7-22, right? You see people having bad maps. Like, dude, it happens. Clay, he might have had multiple bad maps in the course of like a month or two, and was just having a really slow start to the year. Yeah. But I mean, the team as a whole just wasn't performing. They were all getting shit on. So it is what it is, man. I do think that I don't think we should be writing off Clay. Absolutely not. I definitely think Clay should. Of course. Bro, especially with Clay's resume and what he's done. I mean, come on, man. You can't disrespect the guy and his resume and what he's done in the past.
Skill doesn't just fall off, dude.
I would say, like, the one, listen, to be like completely like realistic here, it is not going to be easy for Clay to find a starting spot the rest of the year. Only because he's not going to be cheap.
He would also have to sacrifice a lot of money.
Yeah,
he's also an AR player.
I mean, obviously the main AR is a difficult position to switch out unless you're me for insight. But it's like, I don't know. He's expensive. It's just going to be tough. Obviously, I want to see him back in, but unless New York starts struggling, and I don't know. It's just tough to see Clay actually get back in.
He's not getting back in with New York, and he's not getting back in with the New York Subliners, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. You want what's crazy though? You see this type of like elevation on every single level of play. You see it from the bottom level teams when teams make a mix up and some players get better. But you even see it at the higher level teams. Look at Scump. Scump, he's always been really fucking good. But now that he has people like Shotzi, like Illy, Dashy playing around him, playing as good as they are,
bro, you're only as good as your team.
He's 100%. looking like extremely good. Like, it's not even like close.
I'll say this.
He hasn't been replicating this type of performance for a long time. And it's not because he wasn't good. It's because clearly his team's had some issues. But
that's just COD, bro.
Yeah, you put some people around you, and like you can reach that level again.
I think this
that's
game,
just how it works in COD in general.
This game especially, if your team isn't good, you can't perform. Like, this is not like, okay, back in World War II, you could go 40-25 while your teammates are getting shit on. This is not that game. Like, you cannot be a standout player when your team isn't performing or your team isn't playing the right way. It's just not really possible.
You die too fucking fast. Look at Simp. Like, bro, I don't care how much skill you have in your fucking body. If your teammates are dropping all around you, you're dying in a bullet. You're not solo carrying in this game.
Yo, by the way, weird stat. Did y'all know? And I saw a graph from like aim assist in like Modern Warfare 2, like so back in the day. It used to be like something like 35 meters of in-game. Like that's when your aim assist worked, and it fell off after that for like ARs. And nowadays it's like 70 meters. It's like literally doubled in the last like. So Modern Warfare 2 is the example I'm using. Yeah. But like, it's a weird stat. I was kind of thinking about what you guys are saying. Yeah, aim assist has literally doubled. The range at what you have aim assist is literally doubled.
They want to make the game easier for casuals. I mean, that's pretty much what it comes down to, right? I mean, that's pretty much probably why they're doing it.
That's wild.
But by the way, this is fucking insane. This 2v4 to kick off the game. Look at this shit. It's a 2v4 in favor of the Minnesota Rokkr. They have numbers here. Neptune's going to slide on in. He's going to find one somehow. Able to use his movement to dip out and finesse. Paul's going to find another one. Single child to single child from Minnesota. And it all falls apart. They all single child. All of them. And just like that, New York subliners go up 1-0. And that pretty much sets the pace for the rest of the game. New York was pretty much able to storm roll through the Minnesota Rokkr. They went up pretty easily. I think the Rokkr might have won this round. Or no, New York won this round. Fucking Rokkr win the next one. It goes up 3-1 here, but New York was just storming through them. I like the aggression coming out of the New York subliners on the boat cage S&D, man. I definitely think this roster on paper with Hydra, Neptune, and Paul, that's a really good core three. And Porter is not really that slow AR type of guy. You know, like
I mean, he was also their sub on the flex maps, right?
Yeah.
Like the 3 sub maps.
They have a fast team now, which is why I think this team is gonna like the way this team works and the way that this team is laid out. I feel like this team is gonna get a lot more results, and they're definitely gonna make some noise. And you heard Paul saying in the interview and stuff like that. They think they're a top team, man. By the way, scrims have been going and stuff, so you know they've been showing out, man. And for them to get a win here against the Minnesota Rokkr was huge for them, for sure. I definitely think it was gonna happen. They had numbers here in this round, and they end up tossing it. What's with people in Vanguard tossing numbers? Do you think it's the game, or do you think people are just terrible at S&D?
I think it's like what Chris said. Like it's like that bow cage effect, just taking over in other maps where you just think to like always go, like go. Because that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like people just sprint and run away for no reason.
It's also just that you die so quick. So like any sort of hesitation, any sort of just jittery whatever gameplay, like it can get you killed. So it just happens to just be the game design. That's good. It's gonna happen more often than not.
It is horrible. I will say that. But anyway, back to the map.
I mean,
anything stand out for you, Tom? This map, because for me.
No, New York was shitting on them. New York was shitting on them. I mean, they were just playing so aggressive every round. I mean, even here on the offense, I mean, they get right into bottom grandma, and they're not scared to make plays.
Listen, you can say what you want about New York and how they're playing Rokkr in Paris, but 1, they beat Rokkr in Search and Destroy. 2, they haven't lost a hard point. Like, I'm really happy where this team is at, and if anything that Paul has told me, because I'm good friends with Paul, obviously we talk all the time, he says they've been looking like a top 6 range team. Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully they continue to do that, and I'm excited to see how this team does on that, man.
Well, they play Toronto tomorrow, and that's going to be probably the biggest match because that would decide for them potentially if they're in loser bracket or not.
Yeah, and Toronto is, you know, Toronto did place really well at the major, but like in terms of their standings and stuff like that and how they've been performing in the league, they're probably right around that like top 6 range in terms of like their like the standings, not in terms of what they performed on LAN. I'm just saying in terms of the standings, they're probably right around that top 6 range right now. So this would be a big game for them, not only for the the standings, but for themselves. They're taking baby steps in terms of their improvement, which is
New York.
Which is
6-2 in their last 8 maps.
Yeah, bro, they're working their way up to Rokkr. They start at the bottom. Now they're working their way up to Rokkr, and then they're gonna,
I don't know if you guys peeped this round, but just check out the plays coming out from Hydra and Neptune here. So you can see Minnesota, they're gonna get this bomb down, right? They're gonna get one. They're gonna make it a 4v2 situation. Neptune and Paco. Neptune's gonna find a guy in a bomb. He's gonna stay down. Hydra's gonna get his back, and he's gonna instantly hop the bomb site. He's gonna hop the bomb site. Hydra's gonna look over him. And Hydra wins another one-on-one against Standy, and that's going to do it. If he loses that 1v1, I'm not sure if Neptune gets this defuse, but he wins the one-on-one, and Dylan just doesn't have enough time to get there. And then Neptune smokes Dylan there. Boom. 2v4. New York, the 3-1 round. You can see Porter getting hyped up. Really good individual plays coming out of Hydra there. Really good teamwork. You could tell that Neptune and Hydra must have been communicating. And, speaking of comms, you have Hydra, who English is not his first language. And even listening to the listenings, his communication has definitely improved since he first came into the league. So definitely want to show some love to Paco and Neptune for that clutch right there, because it looks like they're bouncing off each other really well. And we saw it in the No Pressure series, right, Pat? They were best friends, Hydra and Neptune, in the No Pressure series. And Chris,
they were going on dates.
They were going on dates.
Goats and shit. Yeah.
Maybe that outside chemistry is you're seeing a little bit of that in game now.
Possibly, possibly.
So, that was a really good round from them. And, other than that, there was nothing too crazy in this map. We can head over to the next one. We go over to the Gavitu control. And this is where Minnesota was able to make a play and push this over to a Berlin hardpoint. Nothing too crazy other than just Minnesota clutching up the 1-2 round, which we can go right to because the other rounds were nothing crazy. First offense. I definitely think NYSL maybe could have played this B point a little bit better. I still feel like teams aren't stacking enough, man. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. When people are getting kills and they're constantly trying to push up, you don't get a lot of opportunities. Chris, what do you think? Because I feel like if you get 3 or 4 dead, you don't get that a lot. Any opportunity you can get to get on a point and try and get ticks and stack, you should be doing it now. Especially
on this map. Like when you get those waves of kills, it takes you so much longer to get across the map to get to some of these points.
Look at this, Chris. Look at this.
Yeah, you need to start like stacking the points. You just have so much room. Yeah.
Where's number 2 going? Get on the point with Porter, man. Hey, Neptune, get on that shit.
Was it all Gav control today? Not even a Tuscan?
Oh, there was one Tuscan both.
Was there one Tuscan?
There was one Tuscan.
I'm going to. I'm gonna hop out. Enjoy the rest of the show, guys.
All right, Tony. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
To their defense, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, in a bit. But real quick, a lot of people in the chat have been supporting me and the team, so I just want to say thank you. It truly does mean a lot. It's been crazy on social, so thank you guys.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure for you, Tom.
Real quick, I saw 15,000 viewers in here at one point today. So you guys are fucking taking over. So
yeah, they've been doing their thing every day. Every day we have 10K plus. No matter who's playing, no matter who we're watching, what we're doing.
But you might have to get a new co-host because that one you got now, bro, absolute horrible take. Somebody make a Reddit thread right now. There hasn't been one in the past few days. Get another Reddit thread up.
Nah,
need a new fucking co-host on the flank.
Nah, bro, I like the
Tony
way.
about the FaceTime. I've been caught, dude.
Dude, no way, Tony, no way.
I was just feeding into it. No,
are you kidding me?
I'll catch you guys later.
Yeah. Enjoy date night, bro.
We'll see you on
your stream later.
Get the fuck out of here, Jesus.
I was gonna say, Tom, to New York's credit, in that one play, they didn't really have much time. They had 17 seconds. It was their last push. If they did opt to stack the point on that open point, they're probably gonna get naded. So they probably were trying to play the the long game, the slay game. They have already pressure on the point. Let's just hope that Rokkr runs into us. But I mean, hey. It is what it is.
Yeah, and then you can see Minnesota now. They flipped the switch. They got to try and get onto this B point. But New York, again, just holding their lanes. This is pretty much the default setup you see most teams. This is what Optic was setting up. Default setup, get one guy push low tank, one guy in a point, and then the other two just kind of holding mid and kind of holding the pinch. The head glitches are pretty strong on that point. And this guy Beach, like, he's soloed out, but it's hard to get this kill, especially
because he has the guy on the point watching over him.
And there's so many fucking spots to check in his field. They could be anywhere. There's multiple tanks, multiple rocks. They could be multiple crevices and different corners they can play. So it's like, it's hard to actually find people here, but you see a lot of people setting that up now. They tied up at 1. I want to go to the 1-2 round because that was a round I felt like probably could have went Minnesota's way. They got the offense. And this is where I think they probably could have clutched it up. They got a minute left to go. They have 2 ticks. They have a guy in the point. New York subliners, they were able to just get him off. And honestly, it was the tax that came in that was able to kind of clear it out. But with a minute left to go, this is a round that Minnesota could possibly close out. You can see them working for that ring control. In order to win offense on Gavitu, guys, you have to get ring control. You have to. You need ring. That's the only way you can lock down this B point. If you don't have ring control, it's looking pretty slow. You can see Minnesota, they were trying to work for ring. Then they tried to work for mid a little bit. Nobody watching mid alley here, Chris. You flipped out a little bit during the watch party from New York setup. I thought it was really weird that nobody was picking up mid alley. They had one guy ring, one guy beach, And then the guy on point just wasn't looking at his mid alley.
Yeah, number 1 and number 3 right now are just looking at the same thing. It's
Which
just,
could have
I don't know,
hurt
bro.
them, which could have definitely hurt New York. So maybe a little misplay coming in from New York and the
So
setup there.
they had two Bokages this series. The Bokage brain just kicked in a little. You know, it's all good. But in the other day, it's Control Men and what is it? Rokkr ends up winning this, I think, in the last round.
Yep, Rokkr end up they end up losing this round because they trolled here. I personally think Rokkr could have got in off that entry because New York had a bad setup there. They didn't hold mid alley. Standy found a gap, got in there, but then with 2-3 seconds left, there's no lives. Hydra just holding the head glitch. There was nothing Minnesota can do. And in Minnesota, they were able to get the defense on the last round. And
Bro, what is the chat spamming, dude? It's going so fast I can't even fucking read it.
They always spam copy pastas these days. I don't know what they're doing, these guys. You know, I don't know what the hell's going on. But it goes over to a defense.
I was gonna say, Thomas, 81-19 defense versus offense win percentage on this map.
That's
so
that's what I'm saying. Like, guys, 81 to 19, 81 to 19 is the stat line right now from defense to offense, which is just insane, bro. It's just insane. It just makes me not even. And I don't understand. Are we gonna see and Pat Chris? I don't know if you guys noticed, but are we gonna get any new maps throughout the year? Any DLC maps? Anything?
I mean, we're gonna get the DLCs, but whether they're competitive or not, we'll never know. So.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna need to bring back some
when it
old
comes to
maps.
Control, I don't watch it until I hear Tommy in my ear say, "Oh, we're going to last round."
Yeah, seriously. I mean, the only time in a Control I like to watch it back is if somebody won an offense. I like to see how they won it. You know, I want to go back and see
But
how
that happens 19% of the time.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Other than that, every Gavin 2 Control and Tusker Control is the same thing. You cap the 8 point. And then teams are trying to force their way onto the B point, but with how talented these teams are, they just get into their basic setups, and nobody can really do anything about it.
The way the maps are designed, it's like if you win an offense, like you're just world starring the other team.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, Minnesota is chilling right now. They're not even, you know, they're just getting ring control and they're holding the B side. They're getting streaks. I mean, it's over with. This one was all over. They force a Berlin hardpoint. We can take a look at the scoreboard real quick. See, Attached, 34-31. He's still doing his thing. Dylan Attached has been frying, bro. He's been doing his fucking thing for Minnesota, but unfortunately, it just hasn't been enough. Over on the other side, everybody pretty much pulling weight. Nothing too crazy. You can see Crim6 doing his thing. Hydra doing his thing. Porter's been playing well all year as well, so, you know, got to show some love to him. But let's get into the Berlin hardpoint. This one got away from Minnesota in the beginning. It was pretty back and forth, but it was the second rotation again, where I just thought New York was able to scratch away with this one. Once it gets that second rotation of hard point, they were able to make some good plays. Standy was able to make some plays. Once we got back to that P1, which we'll get to, I'll be able to show you guys kind of what went down. But what were you guys' initial thoughts on the Berlin hard point? Anything? Before we get into our predictions for tomorrow, because tomorrow's matches are going to be fucking fire.
I just think kind of what we've been saying. Rokkr just looked so bad in hardpoint for me. It's honestly disheartening.
Yeah, and one of those plays that they fucked up on was this P2.
When they didn't watch the fucking.
Yeah, they didn't watch the back, and I don't remember if it was the fucking second P2 or the first P2, but it was, or P3, excuse me. It was one of those hills. But you can see right here, Rokkr, they do a really good job breaking in here. They just storm through street. I like what New York is doing, holding street, but they gotta chill. Paul X is getting picked across the map. Neptune, he decides to go rogue. He slides out when he probably should have just played the corner, but I think at that point, once his teammates all died, they kind of chalked it. And Minnesota Rokkr were able to break New York Center. New York could have definitely got a full 60 there and probably just got right through this map. I got to stop saying storm roll because the chat keeps fucking trolling me now every time I say storm roll through the map, which I don't know if it's a word I made up. I have no fucking idea, but it sounds correct.
Sounds good, yeah.
It sounds correct. And you can see Minnesota, they get in there. They're able to bring it back a little bit. We go over to the fucking P4s, which these P4s have been miserable. The only reason why Minnesota was able to break on in is because Dylan was frying and Attach had a streak. So they were able to force their way onto this P4 hardpoint. But once you get into the second rotation, you start seeing some nice plays coming in. You start seeing some sneaks coming from Standy, which honestly didn't really help him too much. But let's get back into the second rotation. Let's see what's going on here.
Yeah,
So-
this map actually ended up oh, sorry, go ahead, Pat.
No,
This was
I
a
just-
really good break by New York, by the way.
I
This
was just gonna
P1
say
break.
quickly, Rokkr's actually tied with Ultra with only 3 like 50-point holds in hills since they like on every map in total. Like they've only had basically 360s, right? Because that's what we're considering it.
Yeah.
So in all of Hardpoint, they've only had like 3 real whole hill holds, and like think about the amount of hardpoints they probably played as a team. Like that sounds so low. Like not one set rotation to the money hill. Like they've gotten broken almost every time. It's absurd.
I really like this break from New York. I definitely want to highlight this because you could see Hydra off the rip. Just a really good heads up play. He doesn't just force the front of the hill. And yes, guys, steamrolled. Okay, not stormrolled. It's steamrolled. You're right. That's what it is. Okay, I was getting the term wrong. But look at the route from Paco. He goes all the way around, all the way through the back. And granted, Paul was able to get a couple kills to the front, but Paco ends up finding the last one. And just like that, Minnesota find themselves spawning deep. And it allows Paco to get into a position to go rogue and be a nuisance. Whether he gets kills or not, it was a good play out of Paco to take the route. Good wins out of Paul X. I definitely think you're going to start seeing teams set up breaks like that, man. You got to take those long routes.
As long as his teammates waited, and then they got kills and they waited, so it was just a double whammy of just good play. But this map actually ended up getting really close towards the end, right?
Yeah, it got close.
New York, I think, ended up pushing out the P1 and ended up just like pushing them back really far.
Yeah, and again, it was Paco who again was taking a route early. You see him again right here going into that P2. 20 seconds left. What does Paco do? He makes a heads up play. He gets into that P2 hard point. Good rotations coming out of him. They were able to, I don't know if they held a lot of time here. They were able to hold most of it. So good plays out of Paco, get the rotations, they get the kills. And then this is where the trolls came in from Minnesota. Right here, New York pretty much can win the game here. They salvaged the situation. After Minnesota get broke here, they were able to come in through the front and break it. But stuff like this can't happen. I mean, Neptune just waltzed right up to the truck. He finds 2 in the back. Dylan and Major Maniac just get caught with their pants down. And just like that, I mean, New York stormed right through the back of this hard point and get spawns within 5 seconds. Just really good plays. And they get in there, Chris, and then they get horked on.
Literally. But in general, on that hill, you have to put pressure up on that street because there's 2 places that you cannot let the team get to, otherwise you're destined to get broken on. Just fire, right?
Yeah.
But that truck that he got onto, once you get there, that whole dock is basically done. And the only places that they could be to hold the back are in the back, like open part of that like lot. So you're basically fucked. And New York basically took advantage of it. Minnesota didn't have any pressure, and it just led to them basically giving New York an opportunity to break.
Yep. No, it was a really good break from New York. They took advantage of Minnesota kind of turtling a little bit in the back of the base. So good plays here. And then you can see this was the heads up play out of Standy. Great play. He ends up finding a little gap here. Finds a little gap to the right side of the map. He holds his shots here. Does not shoot his gun. 10 seconds left in the old. He wants to hold here and make sure that he doesn't get any kills until that next hard point pops. And that's what he does. The next hard point pops.
Good play.
Really good play. And then he's going to make his move. And he's going to take this guy off of the hill. They make it a nuisance. I think New York gets in this a little bit. They still get some time. But to keep in mind, Minnesota didn't have rotation here. And they were able to make things mixy and keep them off the point and keep the hill white for a little bit. So maybe a little good trigger discipline from Standy there. Able to sneak, get around. But New York was able to lock down the rest of this 20-30. And then going into the P5, Minnesota here. This is why you can't get 4 dead too fast. Check this out. They have New York in the fucking trap. But sometimes, chat, the game is broken. And when you play too good, it might cost you. This is definitely frustrating if you're a Minnesota Rokkr fan. But they're able to get 4 dead right here. And because they kill all 4 guys, that forces a flip spawn. Because they went all 4 dead, that forces New York to spawn behind them. And they don't even read it. They have no idea. They think they have New York pinned. They're not even turning. Nobody's turning around. And New York just gets a free kill on the hill.
Imagine being punished for wiping out the
enemy team. You get they got punished for playing well.
I love Vanguard.
Man, what are you gonna do? Sometimes you gotta listen. I'm gonna point it out. If I see certain things, that there's I'm gonna write them down. I'm gonna point them out.
Wait. To the game's credit, this has been a thing since MW spawns, where you get 4 dead, they're behind you.
Yeah.
So it's up to them to read it.
Yeah,
right?
they have to read it. If they go 4 dead,
they play the game enough.
Bro, I mean, to be honest though, they get 4 dead. It's quiet. for a while. Like, it's pretty quiet for like a few seconds. It's like, okay, guys, I don't think they're here. Like, turn around. You know, and then there's also a spot on the hill where I think Standy could probably play where his back isn't exposed. Like, maybe find like a little corner he could tuck into. But Crimsix ends up finding the kill. Again, that opens things up. New York was able to get in, and P5 was a little bit mixy, but it was when we go back to the P1 where New York just steamrolled through this P1 hill,
baby.
And you could see how they did it, man.
I mean, ultimately, that flip, though, basically ended up to them, like, losing the map because that flip gave them, you know, a chance to make that hill scrappy, and then it gave them basically spawns for New, and you see what they were able to do when they got to New, right? Right here in this play. They're able to hold it down, spawn Rokkr very far out, and then push them out and basically make it so Rokkr has to make very frantic plays to even get to the hill if they wanted to win.
Yeah, no, it was good plays, honestly, from New York. They get there early. They rotate. They know that the game is pretty much tied. We just got to lock down that P1 rotation, get there, you know, be a step ahead. They were a step ahead of Minnesota here. They get all the kills. They're able to pin Minnesota into these backfire spawns, and at this point, it's an absolute wrap. If you have Neptune and Hydra running at you in these positions, P-Dog, he's forced to use his streak. Apparently, you can get the streak in through holes on P1.
He butchered it.
He butchered it. Apparently, there's ways to get it through the holes and maybe find a kill, but Paul X finds 3. This is where fucking Paco starts to go fucking nuts.
Yeah.
He starts running at him.
You want what's crazy at the end of the day, man? This is literally Rokkr in a nutshell. Pat was just talking about it earlier. These guys have some of the highest amount of points scored in hard points, but they can't fucking win, dude. And it's just so sad.
This is clinical from New York, by the way. I love this setup. Just constantly just pushing out those cuts and being annoying. It's like a little choo-choo chain. If Hydra dies, Neptune goes. If Neptune dies, the next guy goes. It's just
do whatever the fuck you want. Just don't get 4 dead.
It's just constantly delaying the push from Minnesota, right? Like, Minnesota can't do anything about it. So, good plays out of them. You can take a look at the final scoreboard. You can see Paco 24 and 24, Crimsix 31 and 23. Porter's still doing his fucking thing, man. His big head motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Consistent, but he does have those games.
Nah, he's been pretty good though this year. Like he's and then again on the other side, everybody negative or even except for Dylan Attach. Attach was trying to do everything he can for the squad, but it just wasn't enough. Really good place in the New York Subliners. I think they look a lot better now, a lot. But let's get into the predictions for tomorrow. We got some good fucking matches. You guys ready to go, man? We got Optic versus FaZe tomorrow. You guys ready for this shit or what?
Second best team versus the number 1 team in the game. So, you know, as always, I'm thinking FaZe, obviously the number 1 team in the game, is going to come out on top. I guess we're going a little out of order, but yeah, you know, I got FaZe coming out on top versus the second best team. I don't know what the map count will be. I'd like to go the distance, see a game 5, but honestly, I think this is kind of going to be a testament for you know the best team. I think it's going to be a nice 3-1. I'm going to see. I hope to see some respawn dominance out of them. So obviously it's the marquee match, but that's my feelings on that. And then also I think Breach are going to beat Ravens. I think they've been playing well. They're on kind of a streak, and you kind of know how that momentum carries. And then I got Ultra for a rebound smoke show against the Subliners, and that's my predictions.
All right, I got Boston Breach. I think right now Boston's looks a little bit better in London. I think London's like Chris said, looks a little bit quiet. I think maybe the week or two that Gizmo had to go home and they had to play a ball and this and that maybe hindered them a little bit. I think London's going to have to try and come out and do what they do, but I just feel like Boston's been making more noise. I just feel like they sound like the better team right now. I'm personally going to go Boston 3-2. I can see it being a good series. Then we get into Atlanta FaZe versus Optic. I have no idea what the fuck's going to happen with that. I personally think Optic looked like the better team last time they played. So I'll go with Optic with this one. But again, with FaZe...
an underdog. That's crazy.
I mean, I'm just judging it based off last time they played. And last time they played, Optic looked like the better team. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
No way, dude, Optic Zoomaa.
Well, I mean, come on. First of all, I'm FaZe up for life.
Zoomaa,
I'm FaZe clan. Listen, I'm FaZe clan for life. You know that, Chris. I'm FaZe clan for life. But I also want to call it how I see it. Personally, I felt like Optic was the better team last time they played. But at the same time, like, you know how it is with these teams. Yeah. Like, they trade games. It's very back and forth. Like, I can definitely see FaZe coming out and winning tomorrow. I definitely think FaZe is still right up there with Optic. I don't think Optic is in like a crazy fucking league of their own. I think Optic and FaZe are in the same fucking ball game right now. They're in the same league, and anything can fucking happen. They're both S tier. They're both fucking S tier. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, sorry for the Green Wall fans. I'm rooting for FaZe tomorrow. I want to see my FaZe guys come out on top tomorrow. Those are my guys over there. So I want to see them win. But I know that, to me personally, Optic looked like the better team last time. So we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be fucking late. And then we got New York going up against Toronto. And, bro, I'm going New York tomorrow. I'm going New York. I feel like these guys
This is one of the biggest games of the day.
I mean, listen, it's just a momentum thing for me. Like, I feel like New York is just... They won 2 series. Granted, it was Paris and Minnesota, but I feel like now they have some momentum, they have some confidence, and they're feeling good after a couple dubs. I'm personally gonna go with New York, who is a team with confidence and momentum, who's going up against the Toronto Ultra, who hasn't really looked like themselves. So we'll see. I'm going New York 3-1. We'll go 3-1 New York. Well, I don't know the fucking map count, but I think New York is gonna win. Chris, who do you got?
I got Breach beating London. I've said it already. I'm not trying to discredit London. Breach just, bro, they're undefeated right now. Like, you can't just go against them. But I expect a very good game out of both teams. And then I'm going to go with Optic, dude. And I would argue that Optic do look like they're in a league of their own right now. I'm not saying FaZe isn't fucking disgusting, but, like, bro, Optic has not been losing games. And most of the time, their maps don't even look close.
I could probably get behind that, Chris.
Like, their actual strengths, they don't look close. I know, dude. You're about to say some sarcastic shit. Let me.
He is. No, he is. He definitely is.
Let me fucking finish.
I'm saying I agree with you. I think Optic are in a league of their own. I think it's FaZe, Optic, and then everybody else. So I agree with you.
Okay, but basically what I'm trying to say is they just look dominant right now. But I really hope FaZe, give us a good game right now, because we can't write off FaZe ever. And then lastly,
you don't know what's gonna. Let's be honest, we have no idea what the fuck's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah, we don't know, bro. It's Call of Duty. And then lastly, New York, bro. Like, New York is trending upwards, Ultra's trending downwards. All their last couple games, it just looks like they've lost fucking full, dude.
Who the fuck? Who's screaming in the background? Who is that?
Oh, you can hear that,
bro? Yeah, who the fuck is that?
I think that's Tiny, bro. I think he's streaming.
Yo, you gotta go check on him, bro.
No, he's entertaining his stream, bro. I think he's streaming or playing S&D tournaments.
Bro, this guy,
it sounds like he's getting stabbed.
Yeah, my bad.
Bro, this guy is fucking correct, bro. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, Tiny's going nuts, dude.
But yeah, I think the Optic and FaZe is gonna be a hell of a match, man. But I'll be rooting for the FaZe guys tomorrow. But we'll see what happens. I know there's a lot of Green Wall fans in here, so you guys want the Green Wall to win. It's gonna be a nice rivalry,
Wait,
nice
it's 10 points, right? It's 10 points per win.
Yeah.
So if
this is for first place, if FaZe win their first,
that's what I was gonna say. This is updated, right? Yeah. So
yeah, this is updated. I'm pretty chat. This is updated, right? They showed it at the end of the stream, so it's got to be updated. This is gonna be fucking fire. I'm already bricked up, ready to go. So we got some good matches tomorrow, man. I'm really excited for this one. We'll be live again tomorrow. I think Ben will be with us again tomorrow. Chris, you're more than welcome to join us if you want. But we'll be live again tomorrow after the game. So we appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to actually, there's no Ben Paul. I was gonna say let's get a Ben Paul. He's not here. It is what it is. But we'll get one tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment. Oh shit, bro. Wait,
yo. My bad, dude.
Hey,
go check on him, bro.
Hey, yo, Chris, you make sure he's okay, man. Make sure he's okay, bro. I don't want Devin.
He's playing S&D chows or something.
All right.
That ain't no S&D chows. All
right, bro. But just mute your mic for a second, Chris. I'm going to close this out, man. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Please hit that sub button if you haven't already. Go to anchor.fm/theflank to check out all the audio sites that we're on. Go to @theflank on Twitter, guys. We hit 50K on the Flank Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. 50,000 followers. Thank you guys so much for all the support, man. We all really appreciate it. And Gersh, bro, fucking gotta give a shout out to Gersh. Dude, you're doing a great job on socials. I don't care how much hate you get. If people give you hate for posting memes and always trying to, poke jokes and this and that, I love it, man. You're trying to make people laugh, trying to make people smile. And you've been doing a great job over there posting some fucking memes and, just running social, man. So let's get a worse in the chat, man. Show Gersh some love. And as always, guys, we'll see you tomorrow after the matches. Take care, brush your hair, and we'll see you next time on another episode of The Flank. Bye, guys.